From West Minn Arena on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where this afternoon the Yellow Jacket women's hockey team is looking for elusive victory number 2 as they play host to the Cobbers from Concordia College. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. Alongside the Big Sound Matt Johnson, I am John Garber, and we were with you last Friday night here for, kind of an exciting overtime period where the Yellow Jacket women thought they had it won, celebrated like they had it won, nearly lost it, nearly won it again, before ultimately settling for the tie game and then finishing off a loss in a shootout. But again, that's a tie. It doesn't go in the books as a loss. The following day, they traveled down to St. Cloud, taking on St. Ben's in Game 2 of that weekend series, dropping that one by a 3-1 margin. So not the results that Coach Simon is looking for, Matt, but at the end of the day, there were some positives in there. Yeah, absolutely. I thought that game that we had against St. Ben's, the first of that 2-game back home and home with the Bennies, went pretty darn well. I had a little bit of everything in it. We had equipment malfunctions. We had stoppages in play for other reasons as well. We had, post hit in overtime. We had, an extra attacker goal at the end of the game for the Yellow Jackets off of a missed empty net try by the Bennies. Yes. So we had a little bit of everything. The overtime was extremely entertaining. That was the best 5 minutes of hockey we had all night long. But, there was a lot of positives out of that. The Jackets fell behind by a goal twice. Came back twice, so that was a good sign as well. And like I said, in the shootout, shootouts, especially if they don't count for anything in the non-conference, are sort of just more of an exhibition exercise than anything else. But still some good positive signs for the Yellow Jackets. Of course, they wanted that win against St. Ben's down in St. Cloud in Game 2. Didn't get it, but tonight they're playing an opponent that they're extremely familiar with. Saw them just before the break, so this is going to be interesting, playing a Concordia Moorhead team that also very similar to them in the sense that they don't score a ton of goals. They're coming in at 4-8. The Yellow Jackets, as you said, looking for their second win, so should be an interesting contest here tonight, especially, like I said, these two teams very familiar with one another. Yeah, in the game on Friday night against St. Ben's, we talked about how offense was going to be at a premium, and I guess today it's even at a more premium. Yes. So Concordia averaging just 1.92 goals per game. The Yellow Jackets 1.31. So you got a couple clubs here that struggling to find the offense, and hoping that today can be the breakthrough for Concordia. They're looking to sweep the regular season series from the Yellow Jackets. For the Yellow Jackets, like we said, looking to get victory number 2 on the campaign. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back on the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce, we will have our conversation with Yellow Jacket head coach Bree Simon. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back on the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show National Bank of Commerce. It's Tuesday afternoon. The Yellow Jackets back home getting ready to take on Concordia College in the third game of their 25-26 season series. I am John Garver, and as always, we're joined by Yellow Jacket head coach Bree Simon. And Coach, last weekend home-and-home series against St. Ben's, and obviously not the result that you were looking for, but at least in the game that we were able to call on Friday, there was some positivity and there were some definite strides made. Yeah, for sure. Huge comeback that we were able to pull off with less than a minute left, so that was pretty big, and I thought it was going to give us a little energy for Saturday, but just didn't go our way. Your goaltender was fantastic. Yeah, she was great. For her first match of the season, she did an unbelievable job, and once again, our three goaltenders are neck and neck with each other, which is awesome to see. I felt terrible for her that her collegiate debut has to go to a shootout, because I've never felt those favorite goaltenders, and I felt really bad that that's the way that one had to end. Yeah, poor thing, but you know what? A shootout is more fun than doing another overtime 5 minutes, so and it's a learning curve for her too as well, and for our team. We haven't done that since beginning of the year, and it puts a lot of pressure, but it's also a fun thing that we get to do as well. I beg to differ, because I would have loved to have seen a little more overtime, especially with the way that one started, because you have the breakaway going one way, the 2-on-0 coming back, a breakaway going the other way. That was a very entertaining overtime period. Yeah, very entertaining, my goodness. But, it's sad how it ended, obviously, as everyone, saw. But once again, it shows what our team can do if we actually play a full 60 minutes of hockey as well. In the overtime, Taylor Mark says the breakaway and hits the crossbar. There was a part of me that thought it went in. There was a part of me that most of me figured it went off of the crossbar. Goal light flashes on for a second. There was a discussion with the officials. Was it just, will you talk to the goal judge? Was that basically it? Yeah, pretty much. I kind of got trigger happy with the light. Going back in film and watching it, yes, it did hit the post and went out. So just from where our angle was from the bench, it did look like it went in, but yeah, that's basically all that was said about it. Have mercy on Jerry. He's a 20-year veteran in that chair, and even the best get a itchy trigger finger once in a while. So coming off of that one then into Saturday, you wanted some of the momentum to carry over, but what was the breakdown that led to the loss on Saturday? Unfortunately, it was just not being able to score and not having that extra oomph that I keep telling our girls that we need to perform Friday and Saturday. We can't take, coming back on Friday and then think we're just going to go into Saturday with all the momentum and just show up in the third period is what it really came down to, and we can't do that. We have to show up right when the puck drops, and unfortunately we just didn't get the couple bounces that we needed to get. We got all the calls wildly, which is crazy for Superior, so it wasn't the officials, it was just more of we just didn't have an extra push like they did. You've mentioned it a couple of different times now. First, talking about Saturday not showing up. Second, talking about Friday, that we show what we can do when we play a full 60 minutes. How do you fix that? You know what? It's just honestly positivity right now and keeping the bench energy going, which is crazy. Normally it's not that. It's usually a couple players that kind of get us going, but it has to be the whole 20 girls on the bench, and including us, the coaching staff as well too, is trying to get them to keep going and keep pushing and keep believing in each other, and that us coaches believe in them as well too, and then that's what led to our success on Friday night, and then it just got away from us on Saturday, which is really unfortunate. Concordia in here now this afternoon. You've seen them twice. You went out there for a couple of games, and give me an idea of what you saw in those two games out there and what you're going to use from that to have some success here today. It's gonna be a grind for sure. Very hard-nosed team, and we have to do the same thing, and I just keep saying it day in and day out, we just got to score. That's literally all it comes down to right now for us, and once again, our record is not showing how we're playing. We're playing with everybody. It's really our scoring that's holding us back, and that's what it's going to come down to tonight, honestly. Brought it down to the wire, but the new players are going to get a chance to get in the lineup today, so I know you're excited about that, having a full lineup for the first time in a while. What does that do for you as a coach? I just hope for me it gives our girls that have been playing a little extra push. Like,
hey, if you're not going to play well tonight, well, 2 new people are in the lineup and they'll take your spot real quickly. And I hope that just kind of carries us to a different level, different energy, all around good vibes. For us coaching staff, it's great for Gavin and I coaching on the forward side because they're both playing forward, obviously, and being able to switch lineups, see who they're working well with. They've only practiced 5 times, so seeing who they're actually going to start meshing with, and hopefully that will give us a little bit of a spark too.
Three-headed monster in goal. Who gets the nod?
Maddie will play today, so pretty excited about that. She has been working her tail off. Obviously got injured when we were in St. Norbert, so she's been itching, and I hope I know she'll do well tonight.
Love the classic footwear today, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.
Made reference to the classic footwear, and she thought I was being sarcastic, so she got really angry with me as soon as the interview was done. I did not get the last couple of words that she said to me. I'd already hit stop on the recording, but she was not very happy with what it was that I said. In fact, they're cool. She has these really cool black and white classic Nike high tops that she's wearing. She looks good. They look good, and I'm like, I was being totally serious, but
I didn't get a chance to see them in the pregame. So maybe I'll go down and see Bree afterward and see if I can ask her about her classic footwear.
Absolutely. Very, very classic, good-looking Nike footwear that she has on here today. She mentioned Maddie Wastrel get the starting goal for the Yellow Jackets, making her 6th appearance on the season. 1-3-0 was the record, of 3.26 goals against average and an .878 save percentage for the Yellow Jacket. Freshman goaltender out of Champlin, Minnesota. She will be defending the goal. 2 hour left. And the Yellow Jackets in the alternative gray sweaters with the black and yellow trim will be going from left to right across your computer screen or your mobile device. Not actually on radio today, so I can't say across your radio dial. At the other end, it's going to be Abby Huslett getting the start for Concordia, 5'5" freshman from Elk River, Minnesota. She's making her 10th appearance on the season. She's 3-6, a 2.92 goals against average and a .915 save percentage. So she's got very good numbers so far in her freshman campaign. And I think the only thing keeping her from having a record above 500, they're struggling to score goals too, just like the Yellow Jackets do.
They do. That top line of Cope, Savageau, and Lloyd are the top point getters, obviously, for Concordia. Not a lot of spread-out scoring for them. Like you said, just 23 goals in 12 games for the Cobbers, while UWS comes in with 17 goals this season through 12. So neither team an offensive juggernaut. And just as I say that, it comes right in on goal. Wastrel makes the save, and
already a penalty coming to it, looks like. So, but at any rate, the opening faceoff was sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, Northern Wisconsin's Island Getaway. And referee Justina Vachorek has the hand in the air already, and it looks like it's going to be a penalty on Concordia here just 19 seconds in. So the Yellow Jackets headed to the power play? No, they're going to take a Yellow Jacket. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's Kilgore. Emma Kilgore going to the box
they're taking one each way. Okay, so that's what I was seeing.
Taylor Cope, who is one of the co-leading scorers this season with 6 goals, which, by the way, is one of the leading numbers in the MIAC this season in goals. So we're going to go 4-on-4 here for the next 2, assuming no other infractions.
So coincidental minor penalties. Emma Klagora for the Yellow Jackets. And Taylin Cope of Concordia. So we'll play 4-on-4 here as the puck is in the Concordia zone right now. It comes out to neutral ice, and Stacy Steiner will dump that one back down into the Concordia zone, but the Cobbers quickly coming back on the attack, getting a step on the knee, coming in right on the doorstep, a shot taken by Anna Nelson, and the save is made by Wastrel. So really good opportunities early here for Concordia, less than a minute in, as Anna Nelson just used her speed to get right past the D and on goal.
Yeah, she came in behind the Yellow Jacket D. Nice pass as well. Fed her right at the blue line, completely onside as she came in, and a nice save by Wastrel. Getting her feet wet early in this one, John. She hasn't played for a few weeks, but good to see her in there, and nice save by Wastrel there.
Good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, exactly. We talked about that with Grishus last time when we had him. Now it's Wastrel getting the early start here. And like I said, been a few weeks since Maddie Wastrel has been in net for the Yellow Jackets. Jana Moyer has held the lion's share of the minutes here over the last about month and a half or so for UWS. Wassel had a bit of an injury issue a few weeks ago, but she's back in there now. She actually started the season opener for UWS, and the freshman looking good here so far.
Puck in the Yellow Jacket zone right now. Comes up to the left point. A shot through traffic by Hauer from the left point. Kicked away by Maddie Wastrel. Yellow Jackets, Veda Roski. Check that, it's not Veda Roski. It is Veda Roski. Clears that one out to neutral ice. Now she picks it up at center. Comes across the Concordia line. A long shot from the tops of the circles. And it'll be gloved and held by Abby Huslett. And we're going to get a face-off here in Concordia territory this time. With 18:33 remaining here in this opening period. Yellow Jackets and Concordia scoreless from Westman Arena in Superior. He is the big sound Matt Johnson. I am John Garver. Chris Allen back in the studio at KUWS. Evan Ludwig here in the press box with Yellow Jacket TV.
Wow. Trying to freeze it in the referee's skate.
The linesman had it in the skates, and centers were just digging away for it. Finally, the puck comes free.
First time I think I've seen that in a while.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Puck is in the Concordia zone, bouncing around near the blue line, and finally it is going to be cleared ahead. Number 20 not on their current roster, Tegan Ruprecht. The only one without a name bar caught me off guard, and then she's not on the roster right here, so all apologies for the delay in the call there. Meanwhile, Concordia at center. Kira Borison coming up the right side, gets it across the Yellow Jacket line, but the Jackets back the other way. Fedhead on the right wing for Eiley Dahl. She dumps it in. Cobbers pick up the puck as the Yellow Jackets change personnel. Final seconds ticking off those coincidental minor penalties. The players are out of the box. Each team back to their full complement of skaters, and that's going to change right now as the Yellow Jackets are going to go shorthanded. Clearly a body-checking infraction coming the way of the home team, and it's going to be power play number 1 for Concordia.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious. That was Sienna Kropp who was coming down the near side boards for Concordia, came all the way in and was able to get through a few Yellow Jackets, and it forced the penalty. It's going to be Aislinn Carrick for UWS going to the box.
Time of that penalty, 2:26. Body checking the infraction. First power play here for Concordia. They come into the game with a power play operating at 13.2%. Yellow Jacket penalty kill 81.6%. The puck in the Yellow Jacket zone left wing corner. Now comes up to the right point. This is Mertens. Memphis Mertens plays it over the right wing side. A shot coming in from a sharp angle off the stick of Savageau, and the save is made by Wastrel. She'll hang on to that. And we'll get a face-off in the Yellow Jacket zone.
Sorry, John. Morgan Savageau, one of the leading scorers on this team. 2 goals, 6 assists for the senior. Seems like she's been playing for them for a long time.
Well, 4 years, Matt.
Yeah, 4 years. She was a regular her freshman year, and also one of the team captains this year. In fact, the team captain.
Jackets able to get control here and clear that one down into the Concordia zone. It'll spin all the way on net. Huslett guides that one away from trouble. And out back the other way, carrying it up the middle here is Huseth. Kylie Huseth across the Yellow Jacket line, left circle, cuts it to the middle, gets it knocked off her stick, but right there was Savageau to pick up the loose puck. And that shot comes in on net. The save is made by Wastrel, and she's going to hold on. Another face-off coming up here in the Yellow Jacket zone with 1:11 left in the minor penalty to Aislinn Carrick. 16:44 to go here in this opening period. Yellow Jackets and Concordia scoreless. Just getting it cranked up here on this late afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. Glad to have you along with us. Puck's played up now to the right point. Stick handled there by Emineth. Now played back down the boards into the middle. Cutting into the net is Skogman. Walks down to the left side of the net and takes a shot. That's going to go off the outside of the cage. Puck picked up again by Concordia, but the pass hits the referee. Riley Avalar got the loose puck behind the net. She fans on the clearing attempt. It's going to come all the way up to Skogman at the left point. She'll send it back down low. It's played back behind the Yellow Jacket net. Avalar gets there. She flips that one to the blue line. It's going to be held in. And now Severson's got it here. Taylor Severson right side. Sends that one up top. Now goes over to the left circle, and a quick shot taken by Nelson. The save is made by Wastrel. Seeing a lot of rubber here in the first 5 minutes. Already 6 shots on goal here for the Cobbers. Skogman, top of the left circle, takes a shot. Tipped in front by Severson, and that goes right over the top of the net. Now it's played back up to the right point. Emineth that came out of the zone. They played it back in, had to tag up. Yellow Jackets able to clear. Carrick comes out of the penalty box, so the penalty kill gets the job done. And we're back to 5 skaters apiece. something we haven't had a lot of here in the first 5 minutes of action.
Yeah, basically not at all.
No. Jackets go to clear, but that one's going to be held in by Ruprecht. It comes down into the right wing corner. Yellow Jackets zone. Avalar wraps it around. Over to the left wing for Addison Fee, but that's not going to leave the zone. Now the puck back behind the Yellow Jacket net, taken there by Avalar. She wraps it around the right wing side. Horning tried to clear. That's not going to leave the zone. Avalar again below the goal line in her own end. Sends that one ahead at center. That's going to get tipped down. Icing's going to be waved off on the play. Ruprecht for Concordia. Sends it ahead on the left wing. This is Cope. She'll curl it to the middle now and pass it over to the right wing side. Borison's got it there. Rink wide feed onto the left. Ruprecht tips it out to center ice for Savageau. She comes across the Yellow Jacket line. Savageau down to the left wing corner, loses the handle on the puck. Vadarowski regains control for the Yellow Jackets and feeds it ahead. Now Anna Scherling up the left wing, crosses the Concordia line, played it toward the front of the net. Unfortunately out of the reach of Jalen Morton. Puck comes up to Steiner at the right point. She gives down the right board for Anna Scherling, who was knocked off the play. Now Borison's got it again here for Concordia. Tried to clear, it doesn't come out. Yellow Jackets get it back in the high slot. Maya Anderson over now for Wharton on the right wing. Top of the right circle, the shot taken by Steiner gets blocked by Cope. That one stung, and she's going to gingerly skate her way off the ice as the Jackets come right back on the attack. Steiner feeds it in the middle for Parnell, but it rolls off the end of her stick. Borison gets it back here for Concordia. Good answer by the Yellow Jackets coming off the penalty kill. Able to maintain the forecheck here for a couple of minutes. And the Yellow Jackets now will be whistled for an offside. 13:34 to play here in this first period. Yellow Jackets and Concordia scoreless from Westman Arena in Superior.
Yeah, the Cobbers jumping on the Yellow Jackets early, John, on this one. Able to get some shots right, like you said, right in on goal on Wastrel. A couple of them point-blank range type opportunities. Also got 3 or 4 shots on that power play. So very offensive start here for Concordia, a team that we talked about scores less than 2 goals per game, so they're looking to get an early one in this one. The Yellow Jackets doing a nice job weathering the storm and now starting to kind of find their footing a little bit here as they move on.
3-on-2 for the Jackets at center. Klagora dumping it in. It comes down to the right wing corner. Chased down there by Sienna Kropp for Concordia. She moves that one ahead on the left wing boards. It does come out into the neutral zone. Addison Fee for the Jackets tips it back in. Kropp regaining control for Concordia, speeds over to the right wing, crosses the red line and dumps it in. Yellow Jackets quickly regrouping with the puck. This is Carrick going off the glass on the right wing side. That's going to come all the way down, and that will result in icing and a face-off coming back in Yellow Jacket territory.
Yeah, these two teams last met last weekend before the end of the first half of the year, John, December 12th and 13th. Concordia defeating the Yellow Jackets by scores of 3-1 and 4-1. Both those games were played in Moorhead, Minnesota. And the Yellow Jackets and the Cobbers, like I said, seeing each other for the 3rd time this season. So, like I said, not a lot of mystery between these two squads at this point.
Played 3 times last year, too, so definitely a lot of familiarity between these two schools.
Yeah, because that's basically what you do in conference as well, is play everybody 3 times. So
at center, the puck goes off the skate of Kendall Gustafson in the neutral zone. Concordia coming right back over the line. Emineth with a shot between the circles and a glove save made by Wastrel. She will hold on. Shot number 8 on goal for Concordia. Noteworthy for a reason. This is a team that's averaging just over 21 shots a game, and already with 8 shots on net. So I imagine the edict from Coach Jason Gregoire and his staff is
get the puck to the net.
Get the puck to the net.
Yep. It's been pretty obvious so far. They've been shooting from all angles whenever they've gotten the opportunity. Must not have been happy with how many shots they got the last time against the Yellow Jackets. The shots, I think, both ways were about in the 20s for each side the first 2 games they played.
Or last weekend, too, because they played a pair against River Falls.
Yeah, which did not go particularly well.
No, they lost 5-2 and 10-1. So I think putting the puck on net is the first and foremost. Shot taken from the right circle, by Emineth, kicked away by Wastrel. Yellow Jackets get it back. Marks, her headman pass turned over. Now Skogman's got it left side. Marks able to bump her off the play. It comes up to the left point. Hauer walks and takes the shot. That's tipped in the high slot and ends up going wide of the Yellow Jacket net. In the right wing corner now, this is Skogman. Skogman behind the Yellow Jacket net. Carries it into the high slot. All the way up to the left point. She turns and throws it back down the boards. A shot by Ruprecht blocked. And that's going to go over the glass and out of play as Kasha Kovala got a stick on that one and tipped it out of play.
Yeah, Kasha Kovala also lost her stick at one point, which meant that the Yellow Jackets were essentially playing 4-on-5 down there for a second or two. Thankfully, nothing went awry for the Yellow Jackets, and we're still scoreless here.
Face off to Wastrel's right, controlled by Concordia. Jackets with the steal now, and Eiley Dahl carries it up the right side. She comes across the line, her centering pass. Intercepted on the back check by Abby Ruley. And Ruley sends it back the other direction into the Yellow Jacket zone. Ashton Parnell picks it up. Over to Steiner, right wing side. Back in the middle, check that it's not Parnell, it was Sherling. She weaves all the way to the left wing before dumping it down into Concordia territory. Dahl tying a player up behind the net. The puck bouncing off the back of the goal. Right wing corner, Concordia zone. This is Steiner. Steiner plays it back down low now. Avery Olenek got it. Olenek behind the Concordia net. Tried to center, but that pass is going to get blocked. Hoff picks it up here for Concordia. She plays it ahead to the neutral zone. Yellow Jackets recover, and Vaderowski will dump that right back in. Puck is loose behind the Concordia net. Comes around to the left wing side. Maya Anderson for the Jackets hold the zone. Ashton Parnell sends it back behind the goal. Centering attempt. That's going to be blocked. Trying to find Horning out front. Horning, one of those two new players that Coach Simon talked about in the pregame. Ella Horning wearing number 17. The other one, Gabby Olsen, a native of Superior, sporting number 5.
Yeah, Horning transferring in from Hamlin, which is, of course, Bree Simon's alma mater, and won a state championship at Hill Murray back in high school, so Yellow Jackets have high hopes for her. And speaking of which, she has the puck right now near side.
She gets knocked down on the right wing boards, and Savageau regains control for Concordia as we near the 10-minute mark of period number 1. Penalty coming. It's going to be on the Yellow Jackets. And the Cobbers heading to the power play for the second time.
The Jackets have been in the box now 3 times in the first 9:59, John. That's not something that Coach Bree Simon's going to be very happy about here. And it's Carrick, I think, for the second time here, John, on an interference call. Is that what I'm saying?
It was interference. You are correct.
I'll take that back.
It's actually Brooke Bugas going to the penalty box. So
3 minor penalties against the Yellow Jackets early here. Not the way you want to start.
Definitely not. Face-off controlled by the Cobbers. It's in the right wing corner. Savageau plays it behind the Yellow Jacket net. Chasing the loose puck down is Mose. Now it comes loose right side of the net. A shot save is made by Wastrel. Mose gets it back. Feeds it for Memphis Mertens on the left wing boards. Pestered there by Sherling. Cope picks up the puck. Over to the right circle now. Savageau, a shot save. Wastrel, rebound shot. Wastrel to save. Another save and another stop as well. 4 saves in very quick succession there by Yellow Jacket goaltender Maddie Wastrel, keeping this thing scoreless.
Yeah, Savageau from outside the far circle. John getting that shot right in and goal. And Caitlin Cope, who's the leading goal scorer this season, one of them for Concordia, 6 goals. Talked about her being one of the leaders in the MIAC so far this season in goals scored. 2 or 3 whacks at that one. A couple of really nice saves, for Maddie Wastrel, keeping her pads down to the ice and then able to freeze it for the faceoff. That's 12 shots now for Concordia in the first 10 minutes and 32 seconds.
Jackets win the faceoff, and Vaderowski takes it on the back end. She'll send that all the way down. Concordia will be forced to regroup here as Mertens chases it down. Pressured there by Eiley Dahl. Mertens now over to Huseth on the right wing board. She loses the puck in the neutral zone, and Roski will send it all the way back down the ice. Giving chase for the Yellow Jackets on the PK, Maya Anderson passes it behind the Concordia net. Cobbers come away with it here. Carrying it to center is Taylin Cope. Cope up the left wing, feathers that into the left corner Yellow Jacket zone. Cope picks it up there, gets taken off the play by Steiner. Now Anna Nelson's got it. Her pass from the right corner picked off, and the Yellow Jackets come back the other way. This is Addison Fee across the red line. Fee on the right wing. Gets loose from the check now. Centering pass out front for Horning. The shot and the save is made by Huslid. So the newest Yellow Jacket with a point-blank opportunity shorthanded. Biggest save of the game for the Concordia freshman goaltender. Now behind the goal, this is Memphis Mertens. Pressured there, but gets the pass away onto the left wing, for Severson. Now Severson passes that one ahead for Nelson, who was tied up. Puck comes all the way down in the Yellow Jacket zone. Riley Avalar gets knocked off the play behind the net. Jacket clearing attempt held in. Skogman at the left point. Into the middle now for Emineth. Down to the left wing corner. Right back up top for Skogman. Penalty expires, so Bugas coming out of the box. Yellow Jacket PK 2 for 2 here in the early going. Loose puck behind the Yellow Jacket net. Taken there by Taylor Marks. Had points in each game against St. Benedict last weekend. She couldn't get it out of the zone. The puck comes right back down behind the Yellow Jacket net. Now Sherling's clearing attempt from the right wing corner. Doesn't go. Long shot comes in on net. And that's going to be a glove save by Wastrel. She will hold on. And if you can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets, tune in to Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join me and him.
That would be me.
John Garver and the Big Sound, Matt Johnson, throughout the year as we sit down with Yellow Jacket student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available on uwsyellowjackets.com/podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Shots down 13-2, John, on this one. Like about Concordia, a team that usually in the 20s with their shots.
Trying to get them all in the first period.
Yeah, all of them in the first period here. Going back to that play, that nice setup between Addison Fee and Ella Horning, that's the kind of stuff that you hope the Yellow Jackets will be able to capitalize on in the second half of the season. We heard Bree Simon talk about Addison Fee and her potential a couple different times on both the podcast that we did, the last one, Eye of the Swarm, and also heard her talk about that in our game against St. Ben's that we did last weekend, that she has a lot of potential, and Ella Horning, a player who has some offensive skill to her, and you saw those two link up. That's a duo I'm sure the Yellow Jackets will be looking for some points from, as the second half of the season moves on.
Face off to Wastrel's right, controlled by the Yellow Jackets. They try to play it up the right wing. It gets blocked. Now Sherling picks up the loose puck. She tried to move it out of the zone, but it gets tied up there, so now she'll play it back behind her own net. Roski's got it here. Veda Roski sends it for Olenek on the left wing. She tipped it to the middle, but it's not going to come out of the zone. Jackets able to pick it off. Penalty coming. It's going to be on Concordia as they pulled the skates out from underneath Veda Roski. And it's going to be a power play here for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Jacqueline Lloyd going into the box. That's a classic trip right there. UWS trying to come out of the zone. Lloyd a little over aggressive with the stick, takes the Yellow Jacket down, and now UWS gets their first power play opportunity. 4 power play goals to the Jackets. We'll see if they can get their 5th of the season here.
Just 7.8% on the power play are the Yellow Jackets. The penalty kill for Concordia has struggled as well. 78.6% so far in 25-26. And a reminder that this power play is sponsored by Superior Water, Light, and Power. Clean, reliable Superior. That is SWLP. At center for the Yellow Jackets, Taylor Marks up the left wing. Drops it off, left point Sherling. Moves it over into the middle now, and Bugas is going to play it to the right wing corner. Avery Olenek couldn't get her stick free from the defender. Clearing attempt comes up to the right point. Marks holds. Gives it over to Ashton Parnell. Top of the left circle. That shot gets blocked. Parnell gets it back, and that shot's going to miss wide. Concordia regaining control below the goal line, and that's going to be sent all the way down by Sienna Kropp. Yellow Jackets are going to be forced to regroup with 70 seconds left in the power play here. Ashton Parnell all the way over to the left wing boards, has it poke checked off her stick. Jackets will regroup once again. And starting up the left side, Bugas. Her pass gets blocked. Concordia gets it back, and they'll send it all the way down the ice. As we near the 14-minute mark of this opening period, Yellow Jackets and Concordia scoreless. Kendall Gustafson for the Jackets leaves it behind the goal. 35 left in the power play here, half of which has been down in Yellow Jacket territory. Now Gustafson up the right wing, comes across the Concordia line, a shot from the angle, sticked away by Huslid. Addison Fee left wing corner, she gets tied up, the puck comes free. All the Yellow Jackets are going one direction, puck went the other. Jackets get away with a trip there. Gustafson's got it behind the net now. Kendall Gustafson tied up, loses the handle on the puck. And Allie Emeneth is going to send that one off the left wing boards, right in front of our mic, and that'll come all the way down the ice. Final seconds are going to tick off the penalty here as Addison Fee gets it on the right wing. Sends it rink wide over to the left side now for Roski, and she's going to flip that down into Concordia territory. Ruprecht for Concordia, passes it behind her own goal. Borison tried to go, and that's not going to leave the zone. A shot from point-blank range taken by Kovala, and that goes off the outside of the net. Now Kasha Kovala along the end board tied up. Puck hits the referee, and then Skogman's got it. Tried to play that up the right wing boards. Yellow Jackets able to hold the zone.
Well, I'll tell you, John, we were lucky we didn't get another penalty there on Stacey Steiner. She came in and just blew up a Concordia player near the near side board. Referee kept their hands down, but boy, that could have been the 4th minor penalty against UWS in this period.
In the neutral zone, it's dumped back in by Lukazik. It's going to come back behind the Yellow Jacket net. Borison's got it there. Borison's pass up the right side, tipped ahead to center now. This is Severson for Concordia across the Yellow Jacket line, left circle, pulls it to the backhand to the middle. Loses the puck, gets it right back in the corner. Now feeds that one up top. Huseth drops it off. Mose in the right circle, has that shot blocked by Kovala. Now it's back down behind the net. Skogman's got it here. Matty Skogman for Concordia sends it up to the line. That one stays in the zone. And Concordia sends it to the right wing corner. Addie Mose now feeds it up. Huseth at the right point. Stick handles from trouble. Gives it back down for Mose. Centering pass. That's going to be broken up by the stick of Wastrel, and it comes down on the left wing boards. Now Memphis Mertens into the slot. Carries it over. Right circle. Fires. Wastrel makes the save. Rebound shot. Wastrel's got that one as well. Sprawls out. Tries to cover. Puck still free. Shot from point blank range, and Wastrel makes the glove save. She will hang on. And a face-off coming here in the Yellow Jacket zone. Up to 16 shots on net for Concordia. And a couple times where Matty Wastrel has had to make several in quick succession.
Yeah, there was a nice scrum of bodies out in front of Matty Wastrel on that one. Thankfully, the angle was sharp, so she was able to cut it down, John, moving to her left. But yeah, there's been a couple of those opportunities now where the puck has just been laying there right outside the blue paint, and thankfully Wastrel's been on top of it here so far. Jackets have needed her to be so far. Shots now 16-3 in favor of the Cobbers.
Puck is down in the Concordia zone right now. Behind the net, circling with it here, Anna Nelson backhands that up on the left wing side. Jackets able to break it up. Following the play and carrying it out was Kropp. Jackets break it up again in the neutral zone. This is Fee across the line, takes a shot, right circle, and the save is made. And Huseland has to cover that one up. Kind of juggled that one, and it did get behind her, but the freshman goaltender able to get the leather down and cover.
Didn't have a lot of steam on it, John, but I think it confused Huseland a little bit. I'm not sure she's got a good look at it.
Change-ups work, just like Greg Maddox, man.
Exactly. That one dropped on her a little bit, went with her glove, and then it bounced off the top of her glove, kind of hung on her glove for a second, then fell to the ice, and then she did the smart thing in freezing that. But yeah, first time we've really seen Huseland really struggle with a Yellow Jacket shot here so far in this period.
Right wing corner, Concordia zone. The puck comes up the boards now. Savageau will pull it out of the pile and start up the left wing. Chips it around. Aislinn Carrick comes into the Yellow Jacket zone. Feeds it in front. The shot from the top of the goal crease by Jacqueline Lloyd. Turned aside by Wastrel.
Yeah, wide open in the low slot. That was point blank range opportunity there for Concordia. Big save by Wastrel to keep it a scoreless game.
Emineth at the right point. Slides it to the right circle now for Lloyd, who was denied seconds ago. Jackets regain control, and Bugas feeds it ahead on the right wing. This is Eiley Dahl tipping it down into the Concordia zone. Dahl giving chase. Centering feed out front. Quick shot by Maya Anderson. The save is made, and the rebound is played into the right wing corner. Another point-blank opportunity for the Yellow Jackets. Only 5 shots on net, but 3 of them have been incredible quality.
Yeah, good scoring opportunities here so far for a team that only has 5 shots.
Parnell across the line, takes it to the backhand. That shot's going to miss wide. Bouncing puck at the right of the net. Savageau has it for Concordia. Jackets converge on her. Jalen Wharton behind the net. Tried to center. That one's not going to go. Now Parnell has it for the Yellow Jackets. Left wing corner. Parnell's pass goes off the skate of Wharton, comes right out front, but Concordia there and able to clear that one away from trouble with 90 seconds to go in the first period. Wharton on the right wing. Leaving it here for Hornung now. Ella Hornung on the right wing side, sends that down low. Wharton behind the net, has the puck skip away from her. It's going to be played around by the Cobbers. Jackets able to break that one up as Roski pinched down from the left point. Now in the high slot, Roski. It's taken away from her by Severson, who clears. Yellow Jackets, Lukazik dumps it right back in. Severson on the left wing, tried to tip it out. Steiner holds the zone. We now have less than a minute to play here in period number 1. Puck down to the right wing corner. It comes back around behind the Concordia net. Tipped up to the line, and that one catching somebody on the bench who was hanging over. And we're going to get a face-off coming up here in Concordia territory. Nope, check that. They're going to bring it out into the neutral zone.
Interesting period so far, John. Not a lot of shots for the Yellow Jackets, but really good scoring opportunities on those 5 shots. Like I said, 3 of them are the high-quality type for the Yellow Jackets. And, of course, Concordia just getting pucks to the net at every opportunity. They have 18 already. But
Jackets turn it over in the neutral zone, but Anna Nelson was caught in a step ahead of the play. And offside will be the call with 39.8 seconds remaining.
So the start of the show so far has been the 2 goalkeepers. Really.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of had a hunch we were in for another pitcher's duel here today.
We did indeed.
From the neutral zone, Avery Olenek dumps it into Concordia territory. It comes down behind the goal now. In the right wing corner, it's Eiley Dahl. Pass behind the net looking for Olenek, but that one is out of her reach. Big collision behind the net sees Eiley Dahl fall to her backside, and it's going to be played back into the neutral zone. Avalar for the Yellow Jackets. Sends that one into up the right wing. Puck tipped over into the middle now. Sherling for the Yellow Jackets has it. Ahead for Eiley Dahl on the right wing, and she'll dump it. Didn't get the line. Icing was going to be called, but then waved off. Mertens on the left wing for Concordia. Going to be content to just eat that one along the wall. As the buzzer is going to sound, bringing period number 1 to its conclusion. Interesting period indeed, Matt, as the Yellow Jackets handily outshot, but the star of the game so far is wearing number 1 in the gray sweater. That's Maddie Wastrel. She's the reason that this thing is still a 0-0 tie after 1 period of play. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. Right after this, this is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena. It's our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. The Yellow Jacket women's hockey team in Concordia College scoreless after 20 minutes of play. And Matt, before we went to the break, or late in the first period, you had said interesting period.
Yes.
And but before we went to the break, I said interesting indeed. And you know, when you really dive into this, you know, you made reference of it doesn't feel like a game where the shots are 18-5.
No.
And I agree with you. I feel like if you're looking at possession time, offensive zone time, it's probably pretty darn close.
Yeah,
if
not
we
that
had the
far
advanced
off.
analytics here that we're running between periods, we would know that, but we're a Division III institution, so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But it feels like a game where the possession time is probably pretty darn close.
Yeah.
But Concordia just doing a much better job of, one, shooting.
They are.
Two, getting their shots through. The other piece of that, 7 of those 18 shots came on the power play. Yellow Jacket had the one power play, and they didn't have a lot of ozone time there. Concordia dominated when they were on the power play.
Yeah, 9 of those first 18 shots that Concordia had in that period, by the way, John, also coming, I think, in the first 7 or 8 minutes.
Correct.
So it did settle down a bit.
When they were on the power play.
Exactly. So, it was an early flurry. They got 5 shots, I think, in the first minute and a half. Did the Cobbers. And then after that, like you said, they piled up a few more because the Yellow Jackets took 3 minor penalties in that opening period. Of course, Concordia also took 1, so it ended up, or actually 2.
2, yep.
5 total penalties in that period. 3 of them on the Yellow Jackets, and all of those came in like with the first about 10 minutes. So the Yellow Jackets having to do a lot of shorthanded play here so far in this opening 20 minutes. And like you said, a lot of shots getting through. Maddie Wassel doing a really nice job, though, of controlling her rebounds, even though she saw a lot of pucks in that opening 20 minutes. Didn't give up really any juicy rebounds and was able to freeze the puck when she needed to. But, the Yellow Jackets, it's deceiving because 5 shots for the Yellow Jackets, you'd think they're barely getting the puck in and getting any opportunities. They had 2 or 3 really good scoring opportunities of their own.
You had 2 that was just a shooter and a goaltender there. So, I mean, they did a very good job of maximizing, I guess, those opportunities.
Yep.
And, I mean, frankly,
one of them came out in the penalty kill, actually.
Yeah, there was one of those that was a shorthanded opportunity. But, frankly, they probably had the better scoring chances in that period. So they had the quality versus the quantity, I guess, is probably the easiest way to say it.
I think Wassel's best save came on Jacqueline Lloyd near the end of the period, John, when she got loose down the far side of the slot. Yeah, the 2-on-1, and that was a really nice save. But I'll tell you, Abby Huslett also made a couple of really good saves. We talked about the shot that Ella Horning had off the pass from Madison Fee. That was the one on the penalty kill.
Yep.
I think that was the second penalty kill for the Yellow Jackets of that period. And then a really good opportunity for Maya Anderson also off the bench. She just came skating right down the left side of the slot, came down wide open, and she got a great shot. And Huslett was able to make a save there. So both goalies have had to make really, really good saves. Wassel's just had to make more of them. But overall saves, I should say. But yeah, that first period, I mean, there's a lot of numbers here in terms of shots and penalties and power play opportunities, but nothing in the back of the net as yet. And as we talked about when we went to the break, John, start of the game so far, the 2 goalies who are really on top of it so far here through 20 minutes.
18 saves so far for Maddie Wastrel through that opening period. And, I think if we remember back, there was the 2 different stretches where she had to make a save and then had another rebound and a rebound. And 7 of her 18 saves came in 2 very quick exchanges.
Yes, they did. And she had them right in the kitchen, as you would say, John, right out in front of the blue paint area. One of them maybe a little bit off to the left where she was able to cut down the angle a little bit, keep her pads kind of, horizontal and down to the ice so she didn't let anything get underneath her. And when she had the opportunity to freeze the puck, she did it. Meanwhile, I think that for Huslett, a lot of it came from the outside, but they were hard shots. Right in on goal where she had to make a quick reaction save. And Wassel just had a few circumstances where she had to stop 2 or 3 little backhands right in front of her where they're just poking at the puck trying to get it in the back of the net. So, yeah, it's been a kind of a contrast in styles as far as what the goalies have had to save here so far. But it's made for an entertaining period, even though we're still scoreless here after 1.
Penalties in the game so far. The Yellow Jackets taking 3 penalties for 6 minutes. All 3 of those coming in the first half of that first period. Concordia, meanwhile, 2 penalties for 4 minutes. Jackets 0 for 1 on the power play. Concordia is 0 for 2 with the power play advantage. But like we said, 7 of the 18 shots for Concordia coming while they were on the power play. The Yellow Jackets just 1 power play shot. And they had the advantage. They spent a lot of time in their own zone.
They did. Concordia did a really nice job on that penalty kill. You're talking about a penalty kill for Concordia that's only going about 78% right now. You want to be in the mid-80s at least as a college hockey team if you can. You want to even get up to closer to 90 if you can. But they did a nice job on that penalty kill of really kind of clogging the lanes. Jackets really didn't get anything established in the offensive zone. A lot of clears, and the Jackets never really, I feel like, got on track on that power play. So we'll see if they get more power plays, if they can clean that up a little bit here as we move on.
Morgan Savageau, the top shooter so far, 4 shots on goal for her, leading the way for Concordia. The Yellow Jackets, meanwhile, have 5 different players who recorded 1 shot on goal. And I imagine coming out of the break here, Coach Simon probably in that room saying, ladies, we got to shoot the puck more.
Yeah.
We have to find a way to establish ourselves in the offensive zone, which they did in stretches. They found their time in the O zone. They did a good job when they were able, especially after the penalty kill, where they were able to stay in the offensive zone and generate some forecheck there. Now the next step of that is we got to start getting pucks to the net.
Yeah, pucks to the net, and I think also as long as you can keep the lanes open and let Maddie Wastrel see what the puck is, she's going to make the initial save. So if the Yellow Jackets can also clog those lanes a little bit but not take away the eyes of Maddie Wastrel, that'll help them defensively. But like you said, in the offensive zone, a lot of play along the boards in that first period for the Yellow Jackets. You need to get a little bit more into the middle toward the slot area, even the high slot, and make sure you get some pucks in on goal. Hughes had to make some really good saves, don't get me wrong, but she needs to make more of them if you're a Yellow Jacket fan.
About 7.5 minutes away from the start of the second period here at West Minn Arena. Yellow Jackets and Concordia scoreless after one. We'll take a time out and come back with more of our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. Sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. The Yellow Jacket women's hockey team taking on Concordia here this afternoon. Jackets and Cobbers scoreless after 20. Next sports broadcast on 91.3 KUWS and Yellow Jacket TV will come your way a little more than 24 hours from now here at West Minn Arena. The Yellow Jacket men's hockey team playing their first game of 2026. They will play host to the Beloit College Buccaneers with a 7:05 face-off, 6:30 pregame show here from West Minn Arena. The third meeting of the season between the Yellow Jackets and the Bucks.
3 straight.
3 in a row. You don't see that too often unless you're in a playoff series at some level.
What to say, yeah. It's a big sports week, period.
It is. It is. Yeah, that's the... we'll have that on the air tomorrow. Men's hockey again on Friday evening as they take on the Cobbers.
On the road. You got to make that trip.
That long roadie out there to
across the Great Plains of Minnesota all the way over to Moorhead.
That's a tough trip, too. I mean, there's no good way to make that trip.
We were talking about this, I think, the other day, you and I.
Yep. There's no good way to get there. You know, do you take 210 across the Brainerd and then sneak over through Detroit Lakes? Do you go down to St. Cloud and cut over that way?
Either way, it's going to be 5 or 6 hours.
It's going to be a long trip, and hopefully the weather cooperates, and, we have a good result when the Yellow Jackets get out there. That'll be a 7 o'clock face-off, 6:30 pregame as well. Then on Saturday, a triple header?
Yep, triple header it is.
Triple header Saturday as the basketball teams jump into UMAC play now this week. First game's tomorrow evening.
Yep, they're playing down in Minneapolis against North Central tomorrow. They'll be back home on Saturday to take on Bethany Lutheran. That'll be a doubleheader with yours truly on the call. Those games will also be on Yellow Jacket TV, by the way. The men's hockey game will not be on.
Because we're still going to be on the road.
Oh, because you guys are going to be on the road at St. John's that night.
Yes, we're at St. John's. We'll be if there's a building I don't enjoy broadcasting from, that's one of them. It's going to be a big building and a big ice sheet on Saturday evening, but hopefully, traditionally a building the Jackets don't play well in either. I don't know if it's the Olympic-sized sheet or what it is, but it is not one of those places that is conducive to victories for the Yellow Jackets. Frankly, both these buildings are going to this weekend are tricky ones for them to play in, so hopefully they can pick up a couple of wins and get on a little bit of a heater here before they jump into conference play here in a couple of weeks.
Should also note that the women's hockey team will play Bethel at home here. That'll be Yellow Jacket TV broadcast on Friday night.
Correct. That'll be Friday evening. Then on Saturday they are down in Blaine to take on Bethel in the second game of the home and home.
So that'll be interesting as well. In terms of the basketball side of things, I'll be interested to see how the two teams fare in UMAC conference play. I think the men are going to be pretty decent because they're going to create some matchup problems with that big front court. I was thinking about this today, actually. I think the biggest key for them is going to be that backcourt. Mm-hmm. If the guards can hold down the fort a little bit, avoid turnovers and make free throws, handle the ball well, they're going to be a handful because they're big up front.
Sure.
And they've got also those four big guys are all different as far as their skill sets go. And by the way, Landon Tomer becoming one of the better players in the UMAC already.
UMAC Player of the Week.
Yes, and he's really rounding into form. And if he continues to play like that, he's going to be a real problem for teams in the UMAC, the Yellow Jacket men's basketball team. Big and physical this year, so it's going to be interesting to see how teams in the UMAC cope with that size the Jackets have. And like I said, if they can get some good play in the backcourt, they'll be all right. We'll also see how the women fare. They played an absolutely brutal schedule.
Yeah, their non-conference schedule was very rugged.
It was. They played a really good Lawrence team. I was very impressed with the Vikings when we played them on Saturday. That was the final non-conference tune-up before the start of the UMAC conference season for Coach Evelyn Parsons and company. They'll be playing North Central on Wednesday. Again, they have a good chance of winning, I think. And then Bethany Lutheran coming up. They're going to be a tough out. I think Bethany has been kind of building this team for a couple of years.
Yep.
Up to this point. They'll run one of, if not the favorite, to win the UMAC this year. So,
and I think, you've been around this basketball side of things longer than I have, Matt, but if there's a year where it's wide open,
this is it.
This is it. On both sides.
On both sides. There really isn't a team that has stood out so far as being the squad this year. So, it should be interesting to see. I think every game will be very competitive on both sides, and we'll see where it all shakes out in about 6 weeks or so.
Maddie Wasserl with 18 saves in the first period, defending the goal to our right. Yellow Jackets going right to left here in the middle frame, and it's controlled by the Yellow Jackets right now. Stacey Steiner on the backhand, gets it to the Concordia line, but the Cobbers will push it right back the other way with Lloyd up the left wing. She dumps it in. Lloyd giving chase. Steiner takes her out against the end boards. Could have been a body checking penalty, but the arms stay down. Now it comes up to the left point. Huseth with the shot. The save made by Wasserl. And Kendall Gustafson on the right wing clears that for the Yellow Jackets. It comes back to the Concordia line where Huseth's got it. Her pass up the right wing boards intercepted by Roski. She'll push that back into traffic now, and the Yellow Jackets come out with it. Klagora passes that one into the middle, wanted Gustafson, but it was intercepted. And now Savageau back the other way. Morgan Savageau for Concordia, left circle, feeds it in front. The shot, and getting a piece of that was Roski, tipping that one wide of the mark. Now it comes back up to the left point. Emineth in the middle. Stick handles around Fee. Takes a shot. Wasserl to save. Rebound comes right up the slot. Yellow Jackets able to clear that one away. And Addison Fee will start it ahead on the left wing. Fee for the Yellow Jackets gives it off for Klagora, who gets tripped up by the red line. And now back the other direction comes Concordia. Across the Yellow Jacket line, this is Mose on the right side. Her centering pass comes in on net. Wasserl making another save. Now coming out of the corner. Mose with a shot taken. Save made by Wasserl. Puck was loose for a moment, and she's able to close the pads on it. And a face-off coming up here in the Yellow Jacket zone. So, Concordia coming out with a pretty good surge here in the first 90 seconds of the second.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent, in fact, very reminiscent of what we saw in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the opening period. Referees swallowed their whistles a little bit here in that first minute, John. Otherwise, we could have had another player to the sin bin, but yeah, the message clearly has not changed here for Concordia. Get pucks to the net. They did it early in the first period. They're doing it early here in the second period, and the Yellow Jackets going to have to weather the storm here for a bit.
Olenek up the left wing, has it poked off her stick. Sherling follows it up, and it gets swept away from her. It comes to neutral ice. At the red line, it's Talia Marks dumping it back down into Concordia territory. Hughes let out of the net, sets it up behind the goal. Now this is Hauer. Hauer tied up by Sherling. Olenek in to help out. Puck dug free here by Concordia. They're going to move it up the right wing for Mose. She gets it to the line, but not out as Avalar holds. Her D-to-D pass tipped out to neutral ice, and Concordia will come back on the attack. Memphis Mertens up the right wing, cuts it to the middle now. All the way over to the left circle. She'll bring it back up to the blue line. Olenek fans on the opportunity to clear. Borison's got it right circle. A shot save is made. Wastrel. Jackets clear the rebound, but to the line, but not out. Now they get the puck back. Olenek could have cleared, but the stick got knocked out of her hands, and it's going to be played back down into Yellow Jacket territory. Wastrel behind the goal, setting it up here for Avalar. Avalar's pass ahead at center for Maya Anderson. She comes into the Concordia zone, left circle, takes the shot. Hughesland makes the save. Puck bouncing around the top of the goal crease a little bit there, and it's going to be controlled by Concordia now. And Lankto is going to send it back the other way. Lankto from center crosses the Yellow Jacket line and plays it in. On the left wing boards, Severson pokes it to the middle. Yellow Jackets get it back. Starting it back the other direction here is Wharton. On the left wing, Jalen Wharton dumps it into the Concordia zone. Comes back up on the left wing side. It's tipped into the middle now for Skogman. Yellow Jackets had an opportunity to get it back. But just inside the Concordia blue line, and it's going to be scooped up here by Lenkto. She'll cross the red and dump it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Picked up behind the goal now, Bugas for the Yellow Jackets. Her pass intercepted by Skogman on the right wing. Now Severson's got it for Concordia. Up top, Huseth at the right point. Over now, Kropp at the left point. He takes a pass out front that gets through. And sprawling out to make the save there was Wastrel. Huseth at the top of the right circle takes a shot. That's going to be deflected wide. Bouncing puck at the right side of the Yellow Jacket net. Bugas had her stick lifted up as she was trying to clear. Able to recover. Her throws that one up the middle now, and the Yellow Jackets are going to come back the other way. Lukazik for the Jackets. Got it to the Concordia line. Play is going to be broken up just inside the blue line, but the Yellow Jackets staying with it here. Gabby Olsen down into the right wing corner. It comes back behind the net. Lukazik's got it here. Left circle, tried to center. That hits a skate. Klagora for the Jackets has it now. She cycles it back behind the Concordia net. Picked off there. And Sienna Kropp sends that one back out into the neutral zone. Jackets break it up. Bouncing puck at center. Kropp had it for a moment. Skogman following the play. Gets sandwiched between two defenders coming across the Yellow Jacket line. Jackets back on the attack. On the left wing boards, Klagora dumps it in. Hughesland out of the goal. Sets it up there. Puck is going to be worked free behind the net now. This is Ruley. Abby Ruley passing that one ahead on the left wing. It gets to the red line. Jackets break it up. Steiner dumps it back in. Emineth behind the net gets knocked down, and that's going to be a penalty on Kendall Gustafson as the Yellow Jackets touch up. And it's going to be a power play here for Concordia, and the referee's going to have a conversation here.
Yeah, it was from behind. It might also be body checking, one of the two here.
Body checking from behind, or boarding. It's going to be one of those.
And we'll see what they decide to do now. Looks like they're going to have a conversation here. Kendall Gustafson, the leading scorer for the Yellow Jackets. 5 goals, 2 assists in the sin bin right now. And the conversation's ongoing. Those boarding calls are tough, John, because they're dangerous plays. And
no, absolutely. And this is a long discussion going on, and typically the longer these go. And it's going to be a major. 5-minute major check from behind.
And Breesime's going to come down now and ask what the determination was there. So Jackets now are going to have to go on the penalty kill now for the, was this the 4th time now?
This is the 3rd one.
3rd one, okay. 5-minute major. And Kendall Gustafson, the Yellow Jackets' top offensive producer this year, is going to sit in the sin bin for the next 5.
It does not appear that they are giving the game misconduct.
No.
With it. So this will just be a 5-minute major, and then she will be available to the Yellow Jackets when the penalty concludes. And again, it's a major, so she's in there for the full 5.
So we'll see. Maddie Wastrel tested quite a bit here, I think, in the next 5 minutes, John, assuming no more infractions.
The rubber is about to hit the road for this Yellow Jacket penalty kill. That was 2 for 2 here, and they'll win the faceoff. And Taylor Marks will send that all the way down the ice. Hughesland stopping that one as the puck is behind the net. Emineth being pestered there by Eiley Dahl. Dahl creates the turnover, turns it, fires from the right circle, and the save is made by Hughesland.
There's that 6-foot frame of hers, able to just reach out, poke that puck away, and then turn and get a shorthanded shot on. Jackets have had a couple of good looks. on the penalty kill so far here tonight. And Eiley Dahl, like I said, using that 6-foot frame, able to get to that one. On the tallest Yellow Jackets in, I would think, program history in Eiley Dahl.
Probably. Concordia whistled for icing on that ensuing rush, and it'll bring the faceoff back down into the Cobbers zone.
She's also on the women's track and field team here at UWS. A lot of two-sport athletes, by the way, on this Yellow Jacket squad. They have quite a few. We've talked about Ashton Parnell in the past, John. Maya Anderson on the softball team as well.
Kasha Kovala playing soccer.
She's a very good little soccer player, by the way. I got a chance to watch her during the fall. So, yeah, there's quite a few two-sporters on this squad.
Sherling forces the turnover. Right circle, Olenek takes a shot that gets blocked. Now Sherling's got it in the high slot here for the Yellow Jackets. She backhands it down the left wing boards. Olenek's got it here. Avery Olenek tied up, losing the puck. And back the other way. Anna Nelson for Concordia. She crosses the red line and comes into the Yellow Jacket zone on the right wing. Nelson behind the net. She gets chopped down, and that's going to be a penalty. Veda Roski is going to be going to the penalty box, and this is about to get a lot more interesting here. Concordia controlling it. Delayed penalty call. Extra attacker on. Puck played over now to Anna Nelson on the left side. Up top for Huseth. Over to Cope at the left point. Gets away from Sherling. Puck played to the front of the net, now to the right wing corner. If I'm Concordia, I give the Yellow Jackets the puck here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Preserve
quite sure
your power play time. Shot comes in from the blue line, and that's going to be blocked. Now coming down the left side with it here is Mose centering feed. They scored! Mose finds Savageau in front. It's going to be a power play goal for the Cobbers. And they have the 1-0 lead.
Too much time in the sin binge on, the extra skater on. The Yellow Jackets couldn't tag up, and Savageau, the team captain, doing her third of the season, just painting outside setting up, I should say, outside the painted area, able to poke that puck underneath Wastrel, and it's 1-0. Still 3:13 remaining on the major to Kendall Gustafson.
So the delayed penalty call washed out by that power play goal. And it is a 1-0 lead for Concordia. Still over 3 minutes to go in the major power play.
For Concordia was number 22, Morgan Savageau. That's Savageau at 13-13 on the power play.
Up the right wing, Mertens into the Yellow Jacket zone. She carries behind the net. Leaves it on the left wing side. Cope's got it there for Concordia. Back up top for Mertens, left point. Over to the right wing side for Savageau, the goal scorers. Right circle, throws that one across. Wanted Cope in the left circle, but the Yellow Jackets get a stick on that. They'll break that up, and it comes back out into the neutral zone. Huseth for Concordia, backing it up into her own end of the ice. Dropping it off, and Mertens will start it up the right wing. Her pass intercepted. In the neutral zone, Hornung's got it for the Jackets. She'll dump it back in. Excuse me, and Huseth's got it behind the goal for Concordia. Huseth's pass up the right wing, intended for Savageau. The Yellow Jackets break that one up. And it comes back out into the neutral zone again. It goes off the skate of Taylin Cope, and the Yellow Jackets send it back the other way. Huseth coming back behind her net. 2 minutes remaining in the major penalty here on the Yellow Jackets. 12 minutes to play in this second period. It is 1-0 Concordia. Up the left wing now. This is Cope across the Yellow Jacket line. She sets up on the half boards. Sends it behind the net for Mose. Mose tied up by Roski along the end board. It poked over to the right wing corner. Taylin Cope's got it here. Cope drops it off for Emineth at the right point. She sends it down to the right corner. Jackets break that one up. And Veda Roski will send that all the way down the ice. 90 seconds left in the power play here for Concordia. Emineth for the Cobbers. Up the left wing, cuts it to the middle now and sends it ahead. The Yellow Jackets are going to come back the other direction on the turnover. This is Sherling up the left wing. Crosses the Concordia line. High slot, takes the shot. That's going to miss wide to the left. Cobbers regaining control here now, and they carry to center, but Eiley Dahl breaks that one up and sends it all the way down. Mertens up the left wing. Into the Yellow Jacket zone. Memphis Mertens down into the left wing corner. Bothered there by Taylor Marks. Mertens into the high slot. Over to the right circle. Down to the right corner. Centering pass. Jackets break that one up. And Ashton Parnell back the other way, 1-on-3. It's poked off her stick by Emineth. She stays with it. Parnell does. And from the neutral zone sends it in on net. Huslett making the stop. Concordia coming back the other direction here. On the right wing, it's Nelson. And a Nelson across the Yellow Jacket line. Tried to play it deep. Mark's able to break that one up. It comes around now. Skogman on the left wing boards has it here. Skogman behind the net. He evades the jumping referee behind the goal and sends it up to the line, but it comes out to neutral ice. Emineth backing it up. Gives it to Nelson on the right wing, and Concordia is going to be whistled for an offside with 8 seconds left in the major penalty to Kendall Gustafson. 10:08 to play here in this second period. It's a 1-0 lead for Concordia.
Pretty good job by the Yellow Jackets on this major, John. They really have not given them much.
On net.
Yeah, there's only been the one, and that was on the 6-on-4.
Yep.
Created by the delayed call on Vadarowski that got, of course, wiped out by the goal by Morgan Savageau. But for the most part, the Yellow Jackets done a really good job defensively here on this penalty kill.
Savageau works it to the front of the net and takes a shot from point-blank range. The save made. Gustafson out of the penalty box, so we're back to 5 skaters apiece. At center now, this is Addison Fee across the line. Gets knocked down on the play by Huseth. I believe that could have been body checking there, but I think they're going to say that Fee actually initiated the contact. It comes up to the right point. Long shot by Carrick doesn't get through. Carrick again at the right point, pushes that one down low. Huslett makes the stop, and she's going to cover that one up, sensing that number 1, this line had been on the ice for a little while, and number 2, there's going to be a media timeout coming your way, so might as well take that break while you can. Or are they?
Apparently not.
Never mind.
You know, John, we talked about the fact the Yellow Jackets need to get more pucks to the net. Hard to do that when you're in the box as much as they have been. Only 8 shots now, more than halfway through the hockey game. Concordia up to 25 already. So the Jackets, as we talked about during the break, need to get some pucks down low and get some pressure on Abby Huslett's goal, because right now she's sitting pretty back there. Only 8 saves so far, and we're more than a half hour into this hockey game.
Steiner at the right point, tried to push it down the boards. It was blocked. Now Horning's got it in the right circle. Sends it up into the high slot. Roski takes the shot. She scores! Vadarowski with the wrister from the right point. And the Yellow Jackets have tied it at
1. Well, ask and you shall receive. Vadarowski taking a stop inside the blue line off the feed from the freshman Ella Horning, just firing that puck over the top of Huslett, and right on cue, John, getting that puck to the net. Well played shot by Roski, and she's got to feel good about that one. It was her penalty that led to the first goal for Concordia. She more than redeemed herself with that one. That was just a nicely placed wrist shot over the left shoulder of Abby Huslett, and we're all tied up 1 apiece.
It's her first goal of the year, 3rd of her career, number 4, Vadarowski. She got an assist from number 17, Ella Horning. That's Roski from Horning.
So Horning getting the assist. Her first point as a Yellow Jacket coming in game number 1. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, delayed penalty call coming on the Yellow Jackets here.
And it's going to be on Roski, the goal scorer. She rubbed out a Concordia skater coming in on the right side near the boards. And I'm going to say this, John, the calls have been a little bit inconsistent here in terms of some things they've let go, some things they have not, and they call that one on Vadarowski.
I don't disagree with you, because there's been times where you're like, okay, that should be a penalty, and they let that checking go, but then they call that one, and, you know, definitely, I guess, no, rubbing his racing is not a thing here, I guess. For those of you that remember Days of Thunder. At any rate, 11:29, the time of the penalty on Vadarowski for body checking. 5th power play already here for Concordia. Huseth at the right point, walks it to the middle, slides that one over for Mertens, top of the left circle, back over Savageau, right circle, fires, and the save is made by Wastrel. Puck pops up in the air off of her left arm, and we're going to get a whistle, and a hand pass will be called on the Yellow Jackets. That goal, by the way, at the 11-minute mark, first of the year for Vadarowski. And if you factor in the idea that she missed just about all of last season with injury, you know, you're going on 2 years since she's found the back of the net. You got to feel great for her.
Yeah, I'm really happy for her on that one. She's probably a little bit mad about the penalty that just got called against her, but good to see her find the back of the net. Really nice pass as well from freshman Ella Horning. The transfer coming in from Hamlin, getting a point in her first Yellow Jacket game on the assist.
Mertens has it at the left point for Concordia. Walks it to the middle now and sends it to the right corner. Savageau giving chase. Avalar gets there. Puck pops up in the air, and Concordia gets it back now. A steal. Avery Olenek goes to clear, but it's held in by Mertens at the right point. Savageau up top now. This is going to be Huseth, left circle. That shot gets blocked. Mertens gets it back at the left point. 1 minute left in the power play here as the Yellow Jackets intercept and send it all the way down the ice.
The penalty kill continues to be really good here for the Jackets, John. They've been in the box, it feels like, all game long, and so far they've only given up the 1 goal. And like I said, that was on the extra attacker situation. So nice job by the Jackets so far, despite the fact they've been shorthanded a lot in this game here tonight.
Huseth at her own blue line has it for Concordia as she backs it up. Mertens stick handling there. Throws it rink wide, broken up by the Yellow Jackets. Maya Anderson gives it to Dahl. Shot from the right circle. Huslett makes the save, and then she'll drop down and cover it up. And we're going to get a face-off in the Concordia zone with 23 seconds left in the minor penalty to Veda Roski. 6:53 remaining in a pretty rapidly moving second period. Yellow Jackets and Cobbers tied 1-1. Jackets win the face-off. Gustafson with a shot. It gets blocked. She gets her own rebound back. Up top to Bugis at the left point. She'll flip that down low. It comes behind the goal now. Puck is going to be poked off the stick of Addison Fee. In the left wing corner, Concordia zone. Good job by Kendall Gustafson to rag that one in the corner. Final seconds ticking off as Veda Roski comes out of the box. And the PK is 4 for 5 so far here this afternoon. Emineth now for Concordia. Carries it up the left wing. They cross the Yellow Jacket line. Left circle shot. It gets blocked. Puck pinballs around in the slot. Severson for Concordia has it. Severson plays it behind the goal. Anna Nelson chasing that puck. It's in the right wing corner. Comes up the left wing boards. Jackets now. Fee carrying it out to center. Tried to move it over to the right side for Gustafson, but she was tied up. Puck right at the Concordia line. Yellow Jackets offside. Have to tag up. They don't realize they're offside. And finally, referee Justina Vachorek says, I warned you enough times, but I'm going to blow this play dead, and we're going to face off outside the Concordia blue line.
Jackets did a nice job weathering the storm here, John. Like I said, 5 power plays, one of which was a major, and they've only given up the 1 goal. That's a win on the special teams for UWS. It's the question now, like I said, getting some more pucks to the net and also staying out of the box.
Yeah, the discipline thing is a big thing here.
Yeah, you guys just stay out of the penalty box. The referees are calling it tonight, and to make sure you're disciplined defensively. Keep control of your stick. Don't come in from behind on anybody, and hopefully you can get some 5-on-5 action going the other direction here.
Puck is in the neutral zone now. The Yellow Jackets. Roski plays it up the left wing. Huseth regaining control for Concordia. Horning forcing a turnover there, but Savageau recovers for Concordia, and she'll dump it into the Yellow Jacket zone. It comes around behind the net. On the right wing boards, Gabby Olsen has the stick knocked out of her hand before she could play the puck. You got to drop the stick there because then you're going to actually get the penalty call. Comes up to the blue line. Shot tipped in front. That got between the pads of Wastrel but goes off the post. Jackets regain control here, and they're going to sacrifice and take the icing here to get the stoppage in play with 4:57 remaining in the second period.
Yeah, I haven't seen that very many times. They've been playing for that tip out in front. Concordia's done it several times. That's the first time they've really been able to get anything that kind of confused Wastrel. She's done a nice job of cutting down that 5-hole, keeping her pads level to the ice, as we talked about, John. But that one was scary. That was a scary moment there.
Cobbers win the face-off. Ruprecht, the shot, she scores! Right off the face-off. Tegan Ruprecht took the wrister from the top of the left circle, and I don't know if it hit something or what. So it looked like it fooled Maddie Wastrel a little bit, and Concordia back in front.
Looked like she went down with the blocker, John, to try to make the save on that one, and it deflected off the blocker and over her shoulder. And like I said, I don't know if that deflected on the way in, but it looked like she wasn't quite sure how to approach that puck. And Ruprecht let it go from just outside the circles. I'd like to see a replay on that one because I'm not really sure. It seemed like Wastrel, did not for certain get a good look at that puck as it came in.
It was number 20, Tegan Ruprecht. She got an assist from number 2, Maddie Skogman. That's Ruprecht.
So Skogman, the 1 assist. Ruprecht in her first collegiate game, scoring the goal. Putting Concordia back in front. 4.5 minutes to play here now in the second period. It's 2-1 Concordia as Parnell carries it to the neutral zone. She has it taken away from her. Riley Avalar following the play. Sent it up the left wing boards. That's going to be broken up. Concordia back the other way. Severson across the line, but Lenkto was in a step ahead of the play. Offside on the Cobbers.
Shots now 27-11 in favor of Concordia.
9-6 here in this second period. Jackets controlling the draw. Avery Olenek up the left wing. Goes to dump it in. It gets knocked down. That's a frustrating one, too, because you've got 85 feet of ice. You go to dump it in, and it ends up hitting somebody on the other team, and they're able to play it back the other direction. Now at center, it's Sherling up the right wing. She backhands it into the Concordia zone and gives chase. It comes to the left side of the net. Emineth able to intercept there. Emineth sends it for Hauer. Now it comes back around behind the Concordia net. Bugas from the left point, pinching down, able to break up the play. It's tied up on the half board. Worked loose by Emineth, and she'll reverse it back behind the net for Hauer, who goes up the left wing side. Ruley to clear, but that doesn't leave the zone with 3.5 minutes remaining here in period number 2. 2-1 Concordia. Novotny to center now. Sends it over to the left wing side, and Ruley's shot's going to go wide of the net. Emineth holds it in at the right point. Klagora breaks it up and sends it back the other direction. Able to recover was Emineth, and she sends it back down to the Yellow Jacket zone. Klagora on the left wing boards now. Cross in the red. Moves it ahead for Fee. She comes off the boards, takes a long shot, stick save made. Now behind the net, this is Gustafson. Goes right back over to the left side. Right idea there, but the pass out of the reach of Klagora. And the puck comes back out into the neutral zone. Addison Fee for the Jackets again. Crosses the Concordia line. Drops it out for Gustafson. Tried to stick handle around Mose, but she has it taken away from her, and it comes back the other way. Anna Nelson for Concordia. Drops it off Mose. She's got a right circle. Threw it to the front of the net. Roski blocks that. Now it's loose at the right side of the net. Comes out front for Mertens, but she was handcuffed a little bit by that one. Sharp angle shot from the left side of the goal by Addie Mose, and the save made by Wastrel. She'll cover it up. Face-off coming with 2:25 to play in the second period. Steiner for the Yellow Jackets wraps that one around the left wing. Horning tips it to the line, and it's eventually cleared out to center. Lukazik on the left wing gets it across the Concordia line, but the pass for Kovala doesn't go. Horning on the left wing able to hold it and send it down low. Now Horning's got it on the left wing side. Ella Horning has it left circle, walks it to the middle. Backhand shot from between the circles comes in on goal, and Huseland makes the save. She'll cover that up. And we're going to face off in the offensive zone here for the Yellow Jackets with 2:01 remaining in this second period.
I'd like to see the Yellow Jackets start setting the puck in deep a little bit more, try to get some more rubber toward Huseland. She's made 12 saves here so far.
Concordia wins the face-off, and they speed away the other direction. The shot taken by Lloyd from the right circle, and the save made by Wastrel, as that was a 2-on-1 that developed very quickly.
Yeah, Lloyd showing the speed right there, John. Just got her skates moving right off of the draw and came in. She's had some really good looks tonight. Wastrel's did a nice job closing her down so far here.
Centering pass from behind the net misses everybody, and that's going to come out to the neutral zone as Kropp tried to feather one through. At center, Cope across the Yellow Jacket line, cuts to the middle from the right wing, sends it down for Savageau going to the net. Riley Avalar able to tie her up, doesn't get the shot away. Now the Jackets able to break that one up. It's going to be played all the way down by Horning. Parnell wins the race to the puck to nullify the icing call. Line change in progress for the Yellow Jackets. Borison plays it ahead on the left wing. Puck tipped into the middle. Jackets could have been called for a trip there as Savageau was taken down, but play continuing on. In the Yellow Jacket zone, miscommunication in the slot. Turn the puck over, and Concordia sends it down low. Cope tied up by Bugas in the left wing corner. It's going to come back behind the Yellow Jacket net. Parnell gets a stick on it, pushes it up the left wing for Maya Anderson. But Skogman gets it back for Concordia. Puck comes over. Ruprecht from the left circle, a shot, and Wastrel will make the save and cover. And we're going to get a face-off here with 35 seconds remaining in period number 2.
Jackets, you want to get to the break, still down by just a goal here, 2-1.
Or tied.
Yeah, or tied. But if you can keep it even at one
goal,
goal,
favorable result.
Yes, absolutely. 35 seconds, as we mentioned. The last thing you need to do is either give up a goal. You could get one. Obviously, if you're UWS, love to get one. But these are the kind of moments where a goal at this juncture of the game are absolute momentum killers, especially with 20 minutes to go and having some time in the dressing room to think about it.
Puck behind the Yellow Jacket net right now. Sherling works it loose. Gets it on the backhand. Goes up the boards. Olenek can't clear. Now it's worked free again. Sherling has it once again. Passes behind the net for Bugas. Over for Carrick on the right wing. She'll go back down trying to get it to Bugas. Jackets finally break it up and come to center with it here. Sherling to Olenek. She fires from the neutral zone. It's going to be gloved by Huslid. She'll drop it down there as the buzzer sounds, bringing period number 2 to a conclusion. So after a scoreless 20, each team getting on the board. Unfortunately for the Yellow Jackets, they gave up one more goal than they scored, and they trailed 2-1 after 20 minutes of play. We'll take a timeout and come back with our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena. It's our second intermission, and as always, intermission number 2 is sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. After 40 minutes of play, the Yellow Jacket women trailing Concordia 2-1. And the second period, a little more of the same, Matt, as you saw Concordia again pushing a lot of pucks on net, especially early. Yellow Jackets getting into a little bit of penalty trouble there again, and unfortunately this time it cost them. Yeah, it did. They got a couple of calls. One, of course, got wiped out by the first power play goal, but yeah, the Yellow Jackets early in that second period got themselves in the same situation they were in basically at the start of the first period, which is running around their own zone a little bit too much. Major penalty also called against Kendall Gustafson. That really put the Yellow Jackets on the back foot, especially in that first 10 minutes. And you know what? Give the Cobbers credit. They took advantage of it. But the Yellow Jackets really, in this third period, need to stay out of the box. They want to get back into this one in these last 20 minutes. Yeah, Concordia with 5 power plays already, and would have been 6, except they were able to open the scoring in this one while the Yellow Jackets were while the delayed penalty was coming, and they had the extra attacker on the ice. So the first goal was actually a 6-on-4 goal, and it came at 6:47, an unassisted goal, I believe, for Morgan Savageau. And situation there where, I had said give the Yellow Jackets the puck there and preserve that 5-on-3 for as long as possible, and they said, well, old man, no, we're just going to score here, and that's what they did.
It's the team captain, Savageau, that gets it, her third of the season. It was just a play where 6-on-4, pretty classic, just getting it down low. You look at the replay if you're watching on Yellow Jacket TV. She just got outside the painted area to the left and just was able to fire a shot past Wastrel, who really had been solid up until that point, and has actually still been really solid here tonight. She's had a good game, but you give a proven goal scorer like Morgan Savageau, who has 4 years of college hockey experience, that kind of opportunity, and she's going to bury it more times than not.
That was her third goal this season, unassisted. That coming at 6:47, and that made it a 1-0 game for Concordia. That actually ended up being the only shot on goal during that 5-on-3 power play. So props to the Yellow Jacket penalty kill there. I liked the fact that they were a little more aggressive too, and they had some opportunities shorthanded. They had some Ozo time when they were shorthanded as well. So I really liked the aggressiveness of the PK.
Yeah, they've been really good tonight. I mean, they were good in the first period as well. They were better, I thought, in that second period for that matter. I mean, it's hard to kill off 5 minutes on a major, and especially when you have another pending one. That's the only goal you give up on the power play here tonight. Like you said, technically it doesn't go down as a power play goal.
No, it does.
It does it? Yeah. Because of the major, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Because, it's a 6-on-4. You're playing two skaters short still, and if that's the only goal you're going to give up on a penalty kill, you don't really feel bad about that. But, in the later stage, especially of that 5 minutes, they were doing a really nice job. Eiley Dahl did a really good job on the forecheck, going in by herself, using that 6-foot frame to intercept some passes. We saw Hornig had a really good opportunity in the first period on the shorthanded try. So they've done a good job, I think, on the penalty kill. That'll definitely be an area of emphasis and an area where Bree Simon can look at her team and say, you've done a really good job at that. But what that has done also is cut down the opportunities for pucks getting the other direction, John. So far for the Yellow Jackets, just 14 shots on goal through 2 periods. You got to get more than that. And the way you got to do that, stay out of the penalty box.
They were able to get the equalizer, though, however, at the 11-minute mark. Veda Roski scoring her first goal of the season. I apologize for not going back and finding out when the last time was that she scored a goal, because it has been a couple of years. But this was a beautiful wrist shot from between the top of the circle and the blue line that beat goaltender Hughes high on the glove side.
Yeah, really nice feed also from the freshman Ella Horning, who's playing her first game as a Yellow Jacket, the transfer from Hamlin. Able to make a pass over for Veda Roski, who I guess you could say that she felt a little bit redeemed because she was the one that was on the delay call on the first goal, but really nice job by the freshman Horning, finding Roski just inside the blue painted area, or excuse me, the blue line, skating inside and just firing a wrist shot over the top of Abby Huslett into the corner for Veda Roski, her first goal in a long time, and it came at a good time to make it a 1-1 contest.
That was at the 11-minute mark of the period. Tied the game at 1, stayed that way for just over 4 minutes. Then the Yellow Jackets took an icing call to relieve some pressure, and I get it. I mean, when you're tired, you're tired, and you have to take that icing call so you can have that face-off. Unfortunately, they did not win the face-off. Concordia wins the draw, and Tegan Ruprecht makes them pay.
Yeah, she's playing her first college game here tonight, Tegan Ruprecht, and she got a pass back just outside the far dot, and outside the circle, in fact, got a shot at a sharp angle. I don't know. I would like to go back and look at it again a couple times. Of course, you see it if you're on Yellow Jacket TV right now. I felt like Maddie Rossel really didn't have a good feel on that shot. I don't know if it, like you said, clipped something going through, but her approach was a little bit strange on that one. It seemed like, she was kind of...
She was already down in the butterfly, and I don't know if it hit the blocker and went up or what, or if there's a lot of traffic in front. But
I felt like it
seemed like she did not see the puck very well off that shot. And
no, not at all.
Ends up being the first of the year for Ruprecht. Maddie Skogman got the assist. That was at 15:07 of the second period. And they made it a 2-1 game, and then the Yellow Jackets had a little bit of a surge later on in the period, just like they did in the first period. Weren't able to get that equalizer heading to the locker room.
Yeah, and it's it's one of those situations where this first, I think, 5 minutes of the third period is going to be really important, John. The first 5 minutes of each the first and the second periods really distinctly controlled by the Cobbers. The Yellow Jackets need to flip that around a little bit now and get the more of a footing, I think, in the early stages of this third period if they want to get that tying goal and then go from there.
Shots on goal in that second period. Concordia had 12 for a 2-period total of 30. And again, this is a team that was averaging just over 21 shots on goal per game coming into this afternoon. So they have found a way to push pucks and get bodies to the front of the net.
Not as many shot opportunities in the second period as they had in the first period. Of course, they had 18 shots. It was 18-5 after that first period. A little bit more even in the second period. It ended up being 12-9 in favor of Concordia in that second period. But again, the big thing for them, they've come out of the locker room really throwing pucks in on goal immediately off the faceoffs, and that's something that the Yellow Jackets probably are going to have to keep an eye on here at the start of the third period. And also, they'd like to kind of duplicate that themselves if they can get some offensive zone time and able to get some pucks in on Hugheslet's goal.
Penalties in the game so far. The Yellow Jackets have taken 5 penalties for 13 minutes. That, of course, is beefed up a little bit by the major penalty on Kendall Gustafson. While Concordia has taken just 2 penalties for 4 minutes, and on the power play, Concordia sitting at 1 for 5 right now. So the Jacket PK, as you mentioned, Matt, definitely getting the job done. Yellow Jackets 0 for 1 on the power play. They did not have any opportunities in that second period. Concordia had 9 shots on goal on the power play so far. So that definitely is a number I think that you want to kind of get under control too.
Absolutely. We have men's assistant coach Paul Bittner below us here. He's waving at us. That's the reason why we're a little distracted, but that's okay.
Yeah, he's a distracting kind of guy.
Yeah, so we'll see what the Yellow Jackets can do in the locker room here. I mean, you've kind of weathered the storm now through 2 periods, John, at a certain level. Shots 30-14. That second period was a little bit more even. But again, I mean, I keep harping on it, but that first 5 minutes really important in this third period.
And Maddie Wastrel, 28 saves again.
She's been outstanding.
In the first period, she was the story of the game, and it hasn't changed through 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think she probably wants that goal by Ruprecht back a little bit, just because on that one, I think she got a little bit, off of her game a little bit. She wasn't quite sure. She didn't read the shot all that well. But other than that, she's been really, really solid here tonight. I can't really fault her for the goal that Savageau scored either. That was point blank. It was a really nice roof shot, too. Yeah. You can tell that's a 40-year captain that has, an ability to put the puck in the back of the net. She's been one of Concordia's best players her entire career. But other than that, she's been really, really, really solid back there. And, we talked about the fact Bree Simon very happy with her goaltending situation. All 3 of them can play. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that bear out here so far. So, yeah, no complaints about how Maddie Wastrel has played in goal here thus far.
Morgan Savageau, 7 of those 30 shots on goal. So she is definitely bringing the offense and creating the opportunities here for Concordia through the first 40 minutes. We're about 7 minutes away from the start of the third period, here at West Minn Arena. The Yellow Jackets trailing Concordia 2-1. We'll take a break and come back with more of our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. Here at West Minn Arena, about 4.5 minutes away from the start of the third period. The Yellow Jackets trailing Concordia 2-1 after 40. Jackets back home here on Friday night as they will play host to Bethel University, a 7 o'clock face-off. You'll be able to see that one live on Yellow Jacket TV. The lead vocalist to be determined still.
Yeah, trying to figure out who's going to step in for both of us.
We're working on that one because you and I are going to be elsewhere, so we are still working on that. And then the Jackets hit the road Saturday afternoon for Game 2 of that series against Bethel, and then that's it for non-conference play. So this is the non-conference stretch drive, I guess, with these 3 non-conference games this week. And then it gets real when you get into WIAC play. And it's,
why does it ever?
It's going to be, again, as always, a rugged schedule coming through the WIAC. You got 3 teams that are above 500 that are sitting ahead of the Yellow Jackets. 2 of them nationally ranked, with the number 1 team in the country, UW River Falls, 2-time defending national champs that the Yellow Jackets will see 3 times.
Yeah, the Falcons right now at 11-1 in the season. Eau Claire actually showing the way right now. They played 1 extra game ahead of the Falcons, but they're at 4-0. And of course, Eau Claire has established themselves as one of the more consistent programs in the Midwest. They're 11-4 on the year. And then you got Stevens Point at 8-7. They're 2-2 in the league. River Falls, by the way, 2-1. Eau Claire in first at 4-0. The Jackets 1-2, and Beloit at 0-4.
The one loss for River Falls did come against UW Eau Claire.
So yeah, that is an earned first place then for UW Eau Claire. And River Falls, you can bet, will be circling their dates with the Blue Golds coming up here in the second half of the year. But yeah, it's going to be a grind. I mean, the WIAC on both the men's and women's side is always a grind, and when you have a young team like this, if you're the Yellow Jacket women, you're just trying to create some momentum here. You said you got that home and home coming up with Bethel, and then your nose is to the grindstone the rest of the way here. And so if you're UWS, you'd like to see some positive momentum coming out of this game. We saw that against St. Ben's in that first game. We'll see if they can duplicate that performance here in this third period as well.
The real tricky thing, too, when you start looking at the things for the WIAC and the NCAA front is the women's side doesn't have an automatic qualifier.
No.
So you end up in a situation here, and if I remember correctly, you go back to the end of January last year, may even have been as late as early February. You had River Falls, who was the defending national champions at the time. They were the number 1 team in the country at the time. They had 1 loss.
Yeah.
And going by NPI, which is how they picked the tournament fields, they were out.
Yeah.
You're sitting there going, we're a 1-loss team.
Yeah.
We're the number 1 team in the country. We're the defending national champions, and we don't get in.
Right, yeah.
So it's pretty dicey for teams in the WIAC on the women's side because of that lack of the automatic qualifier. And
these are things that you're going to be looking at a lot more closely.
You look at this and go, this could be tricky for them.
And I know I already extended a congratulations to you, Mr. Garver, but congratulations on being named to the men's committee this year.
Thank you.
Selection committee. John's going to be your guy for all those NPI.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I've got to do some serious NPI homework now.
That's a good segue, huh? Going right into that.
On the bus ride out to Concordia on Friday, I'll be reading the Division III manual and reading about NPI and all of that to make sure I have all of my stuff figured out. But it's it's an interesting mathematic formula, basically, that takes a lot of different things into account.
Which is what all the NPIs or RPIs or whatever you want to call them are. It depends on who you played, who they played, and then who they beat.
Yep.
Essentially is the mathematical equation to all of it. It's actually more complicated than that, but that's breaking it down.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different pieces that go into it, but it's...
But that's generalized. That's generalized.
Yeah, and it's the Division I ranks have used something similar because they used pairwise for many, many years, and that was basically how they determined who was going to... That was how they determined who was going to be in the NCAA tournament, was who the top teams were in the pairwise, and that's why if you're following at the Division I hockey ranks, you'll start to see, especially some teams that have beat writers that put a lot of research into this, they'll just sit there and go, well, we knew in September, we knew in November that we were getting in.
Right.
Yeah. Savageau right off the faceoff takes it to the net, and the save is made by Wastrel, and she will cover that one up. So the shot leader in this game for Concordia takes the opening faceoff of the third period and drives it right to the front of the Yellow Jacket net. But finishing the thought, very early in the season at the Division I ranks, they know they can get in the tournament based on how they played in the first half.
Right, yep. They also have more games than the almost all the leagues, I think, at Division I have that AQ as well. So that's also something that factors in.
It's going to be an education. There's no doubt about that. This is going to be an education for me. First time being on an NCAA committee, so, you know.
Well, hearty congratulations.
Thank you.
I said it in social media that, you know, good for you, and I'm happy for you. You certainly deserve it. You've more than put in your time to be named to the committee.
And I get a free quarter zip out of it, too, you know.
So, yeah, there you go.
I do. So I get some official NCAA apparel now as well.
Yeah, you're going to be walking around in the athletic offices looking pretty sharp then, I guess.
It's something that's not going to be black and gold.
Yeah, a different logo this time.
Yes, it'll have a different logo. Face-off will be to Wastrel's left. 30 seconds elapsed here in the third. 2-1 Concordia. They win the face-off. The shot by Kropp from the left point gets through, and a pad save made by Wastrel. Maya Anderson for the Yellow Jackets goes to clear and fires that one up into her own bench.
You know, they took out Gavin Rasmussen on that far side. Former Yellow Jacket team captain and now assistant coach under Bree Simon, who also bailed out on that one.
Just another block shot for Raz.
He tucked out of the way pretty quick on that one.
He still got it. You know? He was a player at this time last year, so he definitely still has the reflexes. Concordia controlling here in the Yellow Jacket zone. Centering pass from the right side is going to be broken up by Wastrel as Addie Moe has tried to sneak that one through.
I thought I heard a shriek from over there for a second when that puck was...
You did.
Yeah. And
the mics picked that one up.
Yeah,
you definitely did.
Yeah, when that puck comes at you, I suppose you can... It's like time stops for a few seconds when that thing's coming at you. And
Kovala tried to carry it out of her own zone. That's not going to go. Yellow Jackets will clear as Bugas gets it on the backhand and sends it out. Now the puck gets a skate and comes down into the Concordia zone. Giving chase Hauer. She gets there first, but then turns it over behind the net. Gustafson intercepts. Gustafson played it to the left side of the goal. That one isn't going to connect. Now it's played back down into the left wing corner. Fee for the Yellow Jackets. Throws that one into the slot. It's poked away from Kovala, and back the other way comes Concordia. Jackets able to break that one up at the line. And Fee will come back the other direction now. Over to Gustafson, right circle, a shot and a blocker save made by Hugheslid. The puck coming over to the left wing side. Emineth has it there for the Cobbers. She'll wrap it around to the left wing. Mertens picks it up. She'll retreat back down low. Now a steal. It's taken here by Anna Scherling. She drove it to the net, got taken down, but play continuing on. Up at the left point, Steiner is able to hold. Down low, Scherling. Her centering pass is going to go off the stick of Steiner and come out into the neutral zone where Roski is able to get it back. Now Eiley Dahl for the Jackets across the Concordia line. Dahl down into the right corner. Carries behind the net. Centering pass out front. Roski with the shot from the left circle, and the save is made by Hugheslid. Vader Roski not able to get good wood on that, and it kind of fluttered in on goal. Hugheslid makes the stop.
Still a nice setup by Eiley Dahl, just circling around back behind John. Finding Roski, who was pinching in, coming off the bench. Across the blue. That's how she got her goal in the second period, so perfectly okay with Vaderowski getting another opportunity at the puck there.
17:53 to play here in this third period. 2-1 Concordia. Puck controlled here by the Cobbers now. Skogman gives it ahead for Severson left wing. It's tipped into the Yellow Jacket zone. Steiner chases it down, quickly wraps it up the right side, but not out. Ruprecht left point, fans on the shot. Yellow Jackets will play it back the other way. Eiley Dahl tipping it to the Concordia line where Ruprecht regains control, and she'll carry up the left side. Tegan Ruprecht, who's got the go-ahead goal at this point in the game, takes a long shot that's sticked away by Wastrel. Now Scherling for the Yellow Jackets, circling back behind her net. Throws it up the right side. Dahl tips it to the line. Ruprecht holds it in left point and drives it back down low. Roski for the Yellow Jackets again. Sends that one up the left wing. Intended for Maya Anderson, but that's going to be broken up. And the Cobbers, Severson on the left wing, sends it back into Yellow Jacket territory. As we pass the 3-minute mark here of this third period, 2-1. Concordia has the lead, and they're about to go shorthanded here as Ashton Parnell got taken down. And the Yellow Jackets heading to the power play for just the second time in the game.
Talked about during the second intermission break, John, the need for the Yellow Jackets to have a better first 5 minutes. Well, mission accomplished there. Savageau had a really good look right out the faceoff, but ever since then, it's been mostly back and forth, and now UWS gets their second power play. They haven't put it up on the board as of yet. There's the call. It's Jacqueline Lloyd going to the box.
Her second trip to the sin bin today.
So we'll see if the Yellow Jackets 0 for 1 on the power play can possibly pot a game-tying goal here.
Time of the penalty, 3:08. Yellow Jacket power play sponsored by Superior Water, Light, and Power. Clean, reliable, Superior. That's SWLP. And they just made a mistake. And
yeah, Maddie Waschel actually put her glove up. I don't know if she just did that because she was unaware that it was a power play, or
I'm assuming she forgot that it was a power play, and referee Justina Vachorik fell victim to the prank.
Yeah, that was.
And whistled that icing, so we have a neutral zone face-off here. Jackets controlling the draw now as Brooke Bugas has it. She starts up the left wing, crosses the red, and dumps it in. It goes to the left wing corner. Chased down by the Cobbers' Sienna Kropp. She's tied up by Ashton Parnell. The puck along the end boards now. Worked free by Olenek in the right corner. Up top to Mark's right point. Back to Olenek on the right wing half board. Nifty fake gets her some open space. She plays it into the middle now. It goes off the stick of Bugas. And the Cobbers are going to send it back the other way. Taylin Cope will send it all the way down the ice. The Yellow Jackets regaining control here. Starting up with it, Ashton Parnell. She'll cut to the middle now and skate it over to the left wing. Slides it ahead. Bugas on the left wing boards. Hits the brakes into the high slot. Roski now over to the left circle. Maya Anderson back up top. Roski with the long reach, able to hold the zone and take a long shot that's guided away by Hugheslet. Left side of the net, the shot taken there by Horning on the doorstep. Another save by Hugheslet, and she'll hold on. Face-off coming to her right. 57 seconds left in this Yellow Jacket power play. 15:48 to go here, third period. 2-1 Concordia.
Play nice play at the blue line by Roski to keep that in, John. She's about 5'7", 5'8", and she's got a long reach. So thankfully she was able to keep that puck in, but now the Cobbers off the draw will ice it.
The program says 5'9" there, Jim. That's a slap shot reference for anybody who's seen the movie 1,000 times like me. At any rate, Roski passes that ahead on the left wing. Fee. Nowhere for her to go, so she curls it back before sliding it over to the right side, and this is Steiner. Steiner across the line, carries down to the right wing corner, passes that one in front. It's going to be broken up, and then it'll be picked off and sent all the way down the ice. Yellow Jackets are going to be forced to regroup once again. Roski steps out from behind the net. Dishes it off onto the right wing. Horning, she carries through center. Into the Concordia zone, takes a chop there as she tried to get to the front of the net. Now Steiner's got it right circle, takes the shot. That hits traffic in front. And the Cobbers will take that and send it all the way down the ice. Final seconds are going to tick off as Jacqueline Lloyd comes out of the penalty box. And we are back to 5 skaters apiece. The Yellow Jackets 0 for 2 on the power play here this afternoon. Stacy Steiner in the middle for Sherling. She banks it off the left wing boards into the Concordia zone. She gets taken down as she was in pursuit of the puck. Penalty coming. It's going to be on Concordia. Yellow Jackets have a delayed power play coming here. So right back to the power play goes the home team. And things kind of evening out here now a little bit as the Yellow Jackets getting their power play chances they didn't get in the first 2.
Yeah, that was Anna Sherling that actually drew that penalty against Concordia. We'll see what they send to the box. Kylie Huseth, it looks like, who's going to go in. That was a nice move by Anna Sherling. She's had an active game here today, John. She's been able to find some space, create some opportunities for the Yellow Jackets, and Huseth just came over and took the legs out from underneath Anna Sherling. And back-to-back power plays now here for UWS.
Time of that penalty is 5:36. Checking on Huseth, third power play for the Yellow Jackets. Power play is sponsored by Superior Water, Light, and Power. Clean, reliable, Superior. That's SWLP. Puck in the Yellow Jacket zone now. Bugas sends that up the right wing. Wanted Avery Olenek, but she couldn't knock it out of the air. And that'll be icing. Or no,
not.
It will not be. Psych. In the right corner, Olenek up top. Bugas sidesteps a checker. Loses the handle on the puck. Concordia getting it back. Now it's free behind their net. Taken there by Emineth, but she can't clear as Taylor Marks holds the zone. Right circle, Parnell takes the shot. Glove save made by Hugheslet. Rebound picked up. Sherling for the Yellow Jackets tried to leave it for Parnell, but that's intercepted. It'll be sent all the way back down into the Yellow Jacket zone.
Yeah, Bugas got caught cheating in a little bit there, John, from the point, and the puck got past her and all the way down the ice, killing a little bit of time here.
Taylor Marks for the Yellow Jackets, starting it ahead to center. Up the right wing, it's taken off her stick there and dumped back down by Lloyd, and the Yellow Jackets are going to be forced to go 200 feet once again as Stacy Steiner picks up speed. Steiner across the red line into the Concordia zone, right wing corner now. She posts up there, waiting for some reinforcements to come in, and they finally do in the form of Maya Anderson. Up top now, Horning, right point, fires through traffic, and the save is made by Huslid. Horning's got it again at the right point. She's going to fire it hard around the boards. Around to the left wing corner, wicked hop off the wall as Addison Fee was going one way. Would have got to the puck, but it hit the spot on the boards, and Concordia corrals the loose puck and sends it all the way down.
Addison Fee's been kind of snake bit in terms of getting that first goal, John. She had a good opportunity, really good opportunity, in fact, and now we have an injured Cobber down on the ice. Let's see if she'll be able to get off. It's like it's Cope.
Jackets at center, Horning dumping it in. It comes around behind the net. Cobbers get it there. Kropp had it. It's taken away from her. Fee battling for it. Savageau picks it up behind the net, but her path taken away by Avery Olenek. Puck is going to be played back up on the boards. Jackets get it back. Olenek along the end board behind the Concordia net. Centering pass out front. Sherling, a shot. She scores! Anna Sherling takes the centering feed from Avery Olenek, and we are tied.
Third goal of the season for Sherling. Really nice to see her rewarded, John. She's had a lot of energy here tonight. She's been skating the puck well, bringing the puck into the offensive zone. Drew that last penalty and now gets the tying goal. Really nicely done. Just coming down the low slot and able to pounce on that puck just outside the painted area. Happy for Anna Sherling to get her third goal. And like I said, she's done a lot of hard work here today, John, as far as moving the puck for the Yellow Jackets, and I think she gets a deserved goal there.
Eiley Dahl, up the right wing for the Yellow Jackets, sends it to the left corner. The puck comes back behind the net.
Third goal of the season and 10th of her career, number 13, Anna Sherling. She gets an assist from number 20, Avery Olenek. Sherling from
Olenek with the one assist on the goal, tying this one up with 11.5 to go here in period number 3. Taylor Marks right side for the Yellow Jackets. That shot's going to get blocked. Gets it up top, right point to Olenek, and she'll send it hard behind down the boards behind the net. Comes around to the left wing corner. Dahl's pass intercepted, and Concordia back the other direction. Memphis Mertens on the left wing, hits the brakes in the left circle. Dishes that one off. Mose passes it over to the right side. Huseth now back up top at the right point. Mertens pulls it and takes the shot. That one tipped through, and they score.
My goodness.
I don't even know what happened there as the shot from the right point by Mertens looked like it hit something. Might have gone off Anna Sherling there, but it basically bounced past Wastrel, and just like that, Concordia back in front.
Wow, is that a tough break, John. That puck was bouncing. It's like a wicked hop. And I'm not even sure who gets credit for that goal.
I think it's going to be Anna Nelson who's going to get credit for it.
Okay. Shot came in from just inside the point. Took a wacky hop, to say the least. You talk about not getting any puck luck, John. That is, wow. That's a tough one right there if you're a Yellow Jacket fan.
Time of that goal, 8:53. So Concordia answering. Less than a minute after the Jackets tie it.
Was number 8, Anna Nelson. She got an assist from number 9, Memphis Mertens. Nelson.
So Mertens with the lone assist. She took the shot from the blue line, and Nelson with the redirection that basically bounced it past Maddie Wastrel, and it's a 3-2 lead for Concordia. At the right point now, Carrick takes a shot, hits traffic in front, never gets to the goal as Skogman gets a stick on that and sends it into the corner. Left wing corner, Concordia zone. Huseth picks it up, and she starts it ahead to center. Severson now for the Cobbers across the Yellow Jacket line, left wing. Pokes it down to the corner, carries it behind the goal. She'll pass that one up top to the right point. Borison drops it back up top. Severson, Ruprecht in the left circle, takes the shot. That hits the outside of the net. Jackets dodged one there because Wastrel was a little bit off of her angle. A lot of net open on the short side. Puck played back up to Ruprecht at the left point. She takes a shot. That's going to get blocked. Lenkto on the left wing drives it down low as we have passed the 10-minute mark of this third period. 3-2, Concordia leading. Ruprecht up on the left wing. Gets around Carrick but loses the puck. Bugas recovering for the Yellow Jackets here, and she'll play that one ahead to center now. Maya Anderson with some speed across the Concordia line. Left circle, takes the shot. Huslid's going to make the save. And the Cobbers will regain control of the rebound and clear it to center. Eiley Dahl breaks that one up, and it caroms right to Savageau, who comes across the line, takes the shot, and the save is made by Wastrel. On the left wing boards, Ashton Parnell for the Yellow Jackets. Gives it over for Anderson. Now back to Parnell, and she'll backhand that into the Concordia zone. She gets knocked down for her efforts. Puck along the end board behind the Yellow Jacket net. The Concordia net, rather, with 9 minutes remaining here in this third period. 3-2. Concordia's got the lead. Lloyd on the right wing sends it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Both teams changing right now as Veda Roski circles her net. Starts it ahead on the right wing for Sherling. She takes a shot top of the right circle. That's deflected wide by the defense. Now Sherling gets it back. It's poke checked off her stick. Clearing attempt by Lloyd is going to be blocked, and then that one's going to go off a stick over the glass and out of play. With 8.5 minutes to go here in period number 3.
And there's our media timeout, John. What do you got for us?
Well, let's see. Which one do we want to do here?
I don't know. You tell me.
If we can knock them all out.
All at once?
Have you downloaded Swarm Central, the official rewards and loyalty app of the Yellow Jackets? Get started. Receive 200 points just for registering, 200 more for downloading the app. Redeem those points for cool prizes in the Swarm Central store. You can find Swarm Central in the Apple and Google stores today. Also, Yellow Jacket fans, get the same gear the Yellow Jackets wear by visiting the Yellow Jacket Sideline store. Browse the latest styles of gear, including shirts, shorts, sweatshirts, outerwear, and more. Yellow Jacket Sideline store can be found at uwsyellowjackets.com/shop.
That's good info, John. Thank you.
How about this one? Yellow Jacket Hockey and Bills Distributing are partnering to benefit Folds of Honor for the 10th year in a row. Every time the Yellow Jackets score a goal at home, Bills Distributing will donate $20 to Folds of Honor, helping provide scholarships and educational assistance for the families of fallen or severely wounded servicemen and women and first responders. And as of this moment, with 8.5 minutes to go in the third period, $500 so far on the year. So the program that in the 10 years it's been in existence is over $10,000 in donations. So the Yellow Jackets and Bills Distributing doing good. Puck is in the Concordia zone, controlled here by the Cobbers. They're going to flip that to neutral ice. Bouncing puck knocked down by Taylor Marks. Addison Fee on the right wing flips it back into the Concordia zone. Chasing it down behind the net, Kovala. Now the puck turned over. And back the other way comes Concordia to center. This is Mose on the left wing crossing the Yellow Jacket line. She sends that one to the front of the net. Nelson, who's got the most recent goal for the Cobbers, plays it to the right point. Taken there by Huseth and driven back down low. Now Mose from the left wing side goes to center. That one's not going to go. Yellow Jackets back the other way. Fee throws that up the left wing boards. A little too much on that one as it's going to come the distance. And that'll be an icing call on the Yellow Jackets. 7:41 to go here in period number 3. Shots 36-22 favoring Concordia. And they have the 3-2 lead.
So far 8-6 in favor of the Yellow Jackets here in the third. Able to get some more pucks down low. Able to put some shots on Abby Huslett's goal to our right.
At the left point, Ruprecht takes a long shot. Some traffic in front, but Wastrel able to stop that and hang on. And we'll do it again. Another face-off here to the right of Maddie Wastrel.
Still a lot of time left at 7 minutes and 36 seconds. No need for the Yellow Jackets to try anything drastic as of yet. The time will start becoming a factor here over the next 2 or 3 minutes, I would think.
Puck in the left wing corner, Yellow Jacket zone. Concordia digs it free. It's taken to the front of the net by Lankto before it's poked off her stick. Now behind the net for the Yellow Jackets, Bugas. Over to the right wing side. Jackets can't clear the zone. Lankto again. Centering pass from the left wall. Jackets break that one up. Puck comes back over now, and stepping in, Aislinn Carrick to clear. Lankto holding that one in momentarily at the left point. She'll send it deep where Ashton Parnell's got it. She nearly overskated the puck and lost the handle on it, but was able to recover and push it away from trouble. Now Carrick behind her net for the Yellow Jackets here. Over to Maya Anderson, left wing. Puck tipped out to center. Parnell steps around the defense and throws it to the middle of the ice. That one broken up by the defense. Now Horning with a shot from the left circle. A harmless backhand goes off the post. Now a shot from the doorstep is pushed just wide. So 2 chances there for Ella Horning. Behind the net now, it's controlled here by Steiner. She gets tied up, leaves the puck along the end boards. Horning kicks it loose. Concordia regaining control. Lankto on the right wing to clear. Sherling holding it in at the left point. Long shot from her is going to be deflected wide by the defense. Ruprecht's got it now, and she'll tip that to center. It hits the linesman, thank you very much. And the Jackets able to dump it back in. Ruprecht again sends that one ahead to center. Tipped into the zone here by Jacqueline Lloyd. It comes all the way down. Penalty coming on the Cobbers. They're going to get Lloyd for the 3rd time in the hockey game as she takes down Veda Roski. Jackets going back to the power play.
Yeah, good time for it, too. 6:02 remaining to be played here. Yellow Jackets down by a goal at 3-2. Lloyd, the sin bin for the 3rd time here. And I think she has, 3 of their 4 penalties, I think, in this game. Does she not, John?
She has 3 of the 5.
3 of the 5.
3 of the 5. 4th power play of the game for the Yellow Jackets here, courtesy of Jacqueline Lloyd. Time of the penalty, 13:58. The power play sponsored by Superior Water, Light, and Power. Clean, reliable, Superior. That's SWLP. Cope has it here for Concordia. She crosses the Yellow Jacket line left circle, works it to the front of the net. Tied up nicely there by Taylor Marks, and the puck will slide harmlessly in on goal, where Wastrel will cover it up. And we're going to get a face-off here in the Yellow Jacket zone. Marks for the Yellow Jackets, starts it ahead now, gives to Olenek. Avery Olenek across the Concordia line on the left wing. She'll carry it down low, hits the brakes in the corner, then leaves it for Parnell. Parnell now dishes it off for Sherling, who passes up top for Marks. Bugas, top of the right circle, takes the shot, and the save is made by Hughesland. Had a clear view of that one as the shot came from the top of the right circle.
The right idea. Jackets just were a little late getting there in terms of creating a little bit of a screen for Hughesland, and she made a pretty routine save out of it after all of that.
Parnell wins the face-off. Olenek gives it to Bugas at the right point. She walks it toward the middle now, fed it over for Parnell, left circle, who was open. I don't think she was expecting that pass to come her way. She seemed a little surprised by it.
I think it took a little deflection.
I think it did. Something happened there. Now Parnell's got it, left circle, takes the shot, the tip in front by Sherling, misses just wide. Now Bugas in the right wing corner, leaving it here for Olenek. Avery Olenek up top, right point Marks. Back to Olenek, right circle. Her shot's going to miss well wide of the goal. At the left point, Marks pitchforks that down to the left corner. Intercepted there by the Cobbers. They'll send it all the way down. Yellow Jackets will regroup with 45 seconds left in the power play. 4:45 to go here in this 3rd period. Concordia up 3-2. Do the Jackets have some late 3rd period magic left in them here? Horning across the line. It's poked off her stick. Comes right to Addison Fee. Fee in the left circle. Feeds that up top, then gets it back on the half board. She pushes it down to the left corner for Maya Anderson. She gets knocked down. Penalty coming on the Cobbers. Jackets are going to have a 2-player advantage here. Very smart play by Veda Roski there to give it right to the Concordia Cobbers, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play here, for 18 seconds as Huseth goes to the box for the Cobbers.
This is her 2nd time in the sin bin as well, so
15:40 the time of the cross-checking minor. 5th power play now for the Yellow Jackets. 5-on-3 for 18 seconds, and they win the face-off. Roski at the right point, walks it to the middle, gives it to Fee in the right circle, back up top for Roski. Over to the left circle now. This is Steiner, stick handles, gives it for Fee. She takes the shot, the save made by Husted. Rebound play to the corner. Comes back up top for Roski. First penalized player back on. Steiner, right circle, takes the shot, save made. Rebound shot by Horning. That gets stopped as well. Puck bounces around and comes to Roski at the top of the right circle. Over to Steiner on the left side. Back up top for Veda Roski. She takes the chop there, but gets the pass down the boards to Fee. Now back up top. Steiner fires, and that one catches traffic in front. Clearing attempt is going to get past Roski on the left side, and that will come all the way down the ice. Yellow Jackets are going to be forced to regroup here. This is Stacy Steiner coming up. Jackets in the midst of a change. Parnell has it now in the circle. She gets around one. Has it poked off her stick at the line. Jackets regaining control. Sherling up the right wing with a minute left in the power play. Goes down to the right wing corner with it here. Sherling behind the Concordia net. Gives to Parnell on the left half board. Parnell gets away from one, takes a shot. That one blocked in front. Puck loose behind the net now, and it comes to the left wing corner. Up the boards and held in the zone by Parnell. 40 seconds left in the minor penalty, and the Cobbers will send that all the way down the ice as the clock dips below 3 minutes remaining here in the third. 3-2 Concordia leads. On the right wing side, Taylor Marks gets around one player, carries it across the Concordia line, has it in the right circle. Now she'll leave it for Avery Olenek. Olenek to the right wing corner. Knocked off the play by Kropp. Olenek gets the puck back. Jackets finally converge on the puck, and it's worked loose. Comes up on the right wing side for Marks. Marks tied up on the play by Cope. Now it comes up to the right point. Walking it to the middle here. A long shot going to be taken by Bugas. Glove save made by Huselet. She'll hold on. 1 second left in the Yellow Jacket power play. 2:20 remaining here in the third period. Shots 39-29 favoring Concordia. And they have the 3-2 lead.
Jackets have looked good on this power play, John. They've been able to get the puck down low. They've gotten some shots from just on top of the dots on goal. Huselet has been screened a few times, but just not able to find the back of the net. We're still at 3-2 here.
Face-off controlled here by the Cobbers. Penalized player is back on, so the Jackets 0 for 5 on the power play as the Cobbers have a 3-on-2 back the other way. Nelson for the Concordia plays it to the front of the Yellow Jacket net. Steiner breaks it up on the back check. It comes up now to Hauer at the left point. Her wrist shot's going to dribble wide of the Yellow Jacket goal. Comes up to the left point now. A long shot taken by Emineth is going to miss wide as we are under 2 minutes remaining here in the third period. Jackets trailing 3-2. Need to clear the zone. Need to get the goalie out. Need to get the extra attacker on. Puck in the left wing corner. Nelson works it free. Drives it to the front of the net. Fee intercepts the centering pass. Yellow Jackets take off back the other way. Fee for Gustafson on the right side. Tips it around the D. Gustafson takes the shot, and the save is made by Huselet. Rebound cleared to the line and eventually out into the neutral zone. 90 seconds to play.
They wave off
icing. Waved off. Okay.
All right, on we go.
Play continuing on here now as the Yellow Jackets can't clear the zone. Skogman tried to center it. That one goes in.
Goodness.
Skogman from the left circle tried a centering pass. It hits a Yellow Jacket player and goes in the net. And that's the nail in the coffin here in this one. This is a game of horrible bounces for the Yellow Jackets.
It is.
Concordia's really only scored one really nice goal.
Yeah, this is... You talk about not getting any puck luck whatsoever. Holy smokes. Just a pass across the low slot, deflects off of a skate. Maddie Wastrel is playing the pass like she should as it's coming across, and unfortunately it takes a deflection off a skate into the near side netting instead of the far side. Wastrel can't get back over with the right pad, and boy, John, that's a hard one to swallow right there.
Unassisted goal at 18:45 was number 2, Maddie Skogman.
So Skogman, the unassisted goal, makes it a 4-2 game. And we now have less than a minute to play here in this third period.
Wow. That's all I can say about that one, John. That's
Horning up the left side, dumps it into the Concordia zone. It's going to be played into the slot, and the Cobbers are going to get it to the line and clear to neutral ice. Driven back in by Aislinn Carrick. Huseth up the middle for Skogman. Now ahead for Severson on the right wing. She crosses the Yellow Jacket line. Has it poked off her stick by Carrick. Yellow Jackets go to clear. That one's not going to leave, and it comes back down low. 20 seconds to go here in this one. Clearing attempt by the Jackets, held in by Borison at the left point. Parnell's got it. Severson again. Up top for Borison. Walks it to the middle, takes a long shot through traffic, and the save made by Wastrel. And the final seconds are going to tick off the clock here as the Jackets clear the zone. Buzzer sounds, bringing this one to a close. What a disappointing finish for the Yellow Jackets, because frankly they deserved better.
They do. That's exactly what I was thinking here, John. In this period, by the way, they outshoot Concordia 16-10. Did everything we asked them to do in between periods, and I'm sure everything that Coach Bree Simon asked her team to do, but two absolutely awful bounces. And Concordia ends up winning it by the score of 4-2. Unfortunately, those two bounces, though, are the difference in the game, John. And boy, you talk about having no puck luck whatsoever. We've talked about this before. Yeah,
Absolutely none.
Yeah, and that's what befell the Yellow Jackets tonight. Like I said, they deserved better tonight. But unfortunately, the hockey gods are not with them. The bounces were not with them, and they end up dropping this game by a 4-2 final score.
4-2 the final. We'll take a timeout and come back with the postgame show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. At Westman Arena, it's the post-game show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery. It comes on the heels of a 4-2 loss for the Yellow Jacket women's hockey team at home today against Concordia in a game that we said before the break. I think the Yellow Jackets deserve better, Matt, and frankly, I know I'm going to catch heck from if there's anybody from Concordia who are listening to our wrap-up here. They scored one good goal today.
Yeah.
And the Yellow Jackets were victims of bad bounces.
Yeah, there were a lot of bad bounces. The last two specifically were bounces you just can't really account for. I mean, those were just plays where, the puck bounced a favorable way for the Cobbers, an unfavorable way for the Yellow Jackets, and it ends up costing the game. You end up losing it 4-2. By rights, I think you could probably say this was probably a 2-2 game. But that's not the way the game was played, and it's one of those things where it's a hard talk in the locker room after a game like this. The Yellow Jackets, we talked about it in between periods. They needed to get a puck to the net and more. They did that. 16 shots in that third period. They end up getting the tying goal, and then less than a second later, an awful bounce off of a shot from Skogman, I think it was, that went down low. Anna Nelson gets credit for it because she got a tip on it, but it took a wacky hop. Wicked hop, in fact, over the top of Manny Walshall, and then that last one. I don't know what else you can do.
There's nothing you can do. It's just one of those things.
Skating into the net. I don't know. It's a hard one to swallow, and it's going to be a challenge for the Yellow Jackets to get over this thing because, like you said, by all rights, they deserved a better outcome here tonight.
Yeah, I think they deserved a better fate, and it's you get to a certain point where what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
there's just you walk in and you go in the room and just go, ladies, you're doing everything that we're asking you to do. You're doing exactly what we ask you to do.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the penalty thing came back to them in the third period. They had all that power play time, and they have a couple.
Power play looked good.
The power play is looking good, and, you get a couple shots that all of a sudden just get blocked, and, on the other end, they're hitting a skate and going in.
Yep.
So it goes like that sometimes. I mean, over the course of history, it all kind of evens out, but difficult one for the Yellow Jackets here this afternoon as they fall by a final of 4-2. Let's jump into our post-game summary. It was a scoreless period in the first, 18-5, were the shots favoring Concordia. And the first 7 minutes or so, it was evident that the Cobbers were just going to throw everything at the net for the entire game. And that's what they ended up doing.
Yeah.
They never got away from that. But I think in the first 5 minutes, they had 7 shots on goal already, and they were throwing everything to the net.
Yeah, they really were. And they did that actually in the first 2 periods, if you really look at it from an overall perspective, John. They got, 7 or 8 shots, like I said, in the first 5 minutes. I think they had 12 within the first, 9 minutes. It was something like that, 12 or 13. The Yellow Jackets were down on the scoreboard as far as shots go, 12-1 at one point in that opening period. It ended up 18-5. And a lot of that was because the Yellow Jackets spent a lot of time, especially in the first 2 periods, in the penalty box. We talked about their need to stay out of the box as the game went on. They did that. But early on, there was a lot of time and a lot of special teams. And Concordia spent a large portion of both the first and second periods on the power play. It ended up leading to this big discrepancy in terms of shots on goal.
Yeah, they had 5 power plays in the first 2 periods, and credit to the Yellow Jacket penalty kill because by and large they were very, very good throughout the hockey game here today. So scoreless after 1, Concordia breaking through on a power play at 6:47 of the second period. Morgan Savageau, the senior captain of the Cobbers, giving them the 1-0 lead on a 6-on-4 goal because they were on the 5-minute power play at the time, and they also had the delayed penalty call that was coming. So a 6-on-4 goal, really nice goal by the senior.
Yeah, and she was one of the best players on the ice for either team. Morgan Savageau getting that shot from the low slot area. She was able to get to the left area. Like you said, it was a 6-on-4, and you had just commented before the goal, actually, that Concordia was sort of eating up a lot of time. We could have been on a 5-on-3 had they just given the puck to the Yellow Jackets. Well, they kept on the 6-on-4, and Savageau pots her 3rd goal of the season. Team captain has been a proven contributor for the Cobbers over the years, and she showed why with that first goal, making it 1-0.
Assists on the goal going to Addie Mose and Memphis Mertens. That was at 6:47, and it was a 1-0 lead for Concordia. The Yellow Jackets getting the equalizer at the 11-minute mark of the period. Really nice pass from Ella Horning in the right circle, finding Vaderowski out high.
Yeah, Vaderowski had a really good game here today for the Yellow Jackets. She was able to get that pass from Ella Horning. Horning going to make a big difference, by the way, for this team. We saw a lot of her in this game. She looked really good for her debut, and she found a really nice pass for Vaderowski, skated inside the blue, and just wristed a shot over the top of Abby Huslett in the corner. First time we've seen Vaderowski score, like you said, in a long
couple
time.
of years.
Yeah, and it was a really well-placed shot. I mean, there really wasn't anything I think that Huslett could have done on that one. It was over her shoulder into the left side corner, and a really nice finish from Vaderowski made it 1-1.
Vaderowski's first... I have to look at her because no matter if I turn the crowd mics off or anything, I cannot hear it. You don't hear it at all. It just gets into the goal horn. Vaderowski at the 11-minute mark ties it at 1. Stayed that way until 15:07. Yellow Jackets take an icing call. Second period, so you've got the long change. It's more difficult to get off the ice. They take the icing, take the defensive zone face-off. Ultimately, Concordia wins the draw, and it was Tegan Ruprecht with that shot from the top of the left circle that put them back in front.
Yeah, Skaugman got the assist on it. It was just off of a quick draw. Just came kind of bouncing back, and then the shot from Ruprecht, we really didn't figure out what was going on with Maddie Rostrel on the actual attempt at the save. Maybe she had a good look at it, maybe she didn't, but she seemed like she was a little bit off on that one. Kind of like floating back a little bit as the puck came in. She actually went with it with her blocker, and then it took a deflection, it looked like anyway, from my vantage point, off of her blocker into the corner net. That's when I'm sure that Maddie Rostrel wants back, but the first goal of the season for Ruprecht and her first game, by the way, in college. So congratulations to her, by the way, for those Concordia people back home. But that gave the Cobbers a 2-1 lead heading to the third.
15:07 the time of that goal. Skaugman the assist. 2-1 Cobbers after 2 shots in the second period. Concordia had 12 for a 2-period total of 30. The Yellow Jackets had 8 for a 2-period total of 13. Then in the third period, the Jackets had a little more pep in their step. Were moving the feet. They were drawing some penalties. They had 4 power plays in the third period. Unfortunately, none of those came to fruition. But at one point, they did tie the game, and it came at 7:54. Anna Scherling's third of the year made it 2-2.
Anna Scherling had a really good game here today as well. She'd be one of my 3 stars for the game because she was very active here tonight. She created a lot for the Yellow Jackets on the offensive end, especially in that second and third period. She was able to get her legs moving underneath her, able to bring the puck in, and a nice job, like I said. She just came down the slot area, nice pass to find her also in the middle, and she came down that middle slot, able to slide it home, and that made it a 2-2 contest.
Third of the year for Anna Scherling, the assist to Avery Olenek, and the game was tied at 2. Third of the year for Sherling. The assist to Olenek. Tie game at 7:54 of the third period, but it stayed that way for less than a minute at 8:53. Concordia regaining the lead. Anna Nelson scoring her third of the year. A redirection from a shot from the blue line.
A really strange-looking goal. I'm still trying to figure out what happened on that one. I mean, the last goal, of course, we know went off of a skate. I'm not quite sure what happened on that.
It was like a pop-up.
Yeah, it was. All of a sudden, the puck was fluttering. It bounced. Nelson actually, I think, was camped just outside the blue paint on the right side. She's being tied up by a Yellow Jacket defender, but I still can't figure out exactly what happened. I think Waschel can't either because it took a very high hop, John. Can't remember the last time I saw a goal with a hop that high. It almost was a foot off of the ice when it crossed the line. But holy smokes, I mean, it was a bad bounce for the Yellow Jackets. It is what it is, and it made it 3-2 in favor of Concordia.
That was at 8:53. Memphis Mertens got the assist, and then the nail in the coffin coming with 1:15 to play. First of the season for Maddie Skogman as she was in the left circle trying to throw a puck to the front of the net. It hit an unknown Yellow Jacket in the skate and ends up going in the net.
Yeah, just like you said, 2 bad bounces in a row. And, if you're the Yellow Jackets, it's just one of those situations. I mean, here it is right there. If you're on Yellow Jacket TV, you just saw the replay, and it's just a tough one because those last 2 goals for the Cobbers came off of bad bounces, and it is what it is. I mean, like you said, probably deserved a better fate. Definitely, in my opinion, deserved a better fate. But, that's the name of the game. Sometimes that's the way it goes, and unfortunately for the Yellow Jackets, just the night where the bounces did not go their way, especially down the stretch.
That goal again at 18:45. Skogman unassisted, making the final score 4-2. Shots on goal in the third period. Concordia had 9 for a game total of 39, while the Yellow Jackets had 18 for a game total of 31. Penalties in the game. The Yellow Jackets taking 5 penalties.